So remember what he did against Vallessa earlier. He banned Incas.
Yeah. Well, this is the march to the final.
Drum roll, please, as our finalists head towards the stage. On the left, Lierrey. On the right, TaToH just kind of soaking up the moment. And our Monk drumming band following up behind as the banners make their way in front of this amazing crowd here in Heidelberg, Germany. TaToH, ever the gentleman, saying, "You go first."
Oh man, but this is so incredible. Look at them. Now they may have worked some of the nerves out of their system in that semifinal.
And they're back now.
But they're back now, exactly. Listen to this.
Chills.
Just awesome. Just so awesome.
To be here and hear that not only through the stream, but in the background, to hear the crowd, everything like that. I could tell even Doubt was gaining energy from that crowd when he went up.
Oh, yeah.
It is an incredible day to be an Age of Empires 2 fan. It is an incredible day to be here. It's an incredible day to watch. And we're going to get into Lierrey versus TaToH, our grand finals of Red Bull. Wololo.
And the TaToH fans are out. Listen to that. Who do you think is more fans here right now? Oh, my word.
Oh,
that's awesome, man. I mean, you've got to feel so good, right? Like, you know, it would be interesting to, like, maybe go back to a clip of what TaToH might have said. TaToH, like, what's your expectations? And he might have said, if I make the finals, I'm happy. But now that you're here,
no, you
can't, you can't think, oh, I'm happy if I lose. You really can't. I think you have to have that, like, I don't want to say aggressive, but you have to have that winner's mindset. The mindset that this guy has every time he plays one of these events. You want to take the whole thing, man. 5 finals now, excuse me, including this final out of 6 possible attempts, and there's TaToH, it's his first one.
A challenger approaches.
Oh, yeah.
A challenger approaches. Can he take a finals against Lierrey? I mean, his teammate Doubt took one, his teammate Viper took one. Maybe it's his turn this year as we see our skill cards pop up, and TaToH, I mean, just solid all around. His strategy should probably be a 10 out of 10. I don't know who.
He must have been training with Viper.
Maybe, I mean, took him down a little bit. Lierrey's also just crazy, right? We know the micro from Lierrey. We know everything is solid from Lierrey. The speed is insane. The precision is insane. Experience, even for being so young, is incredible for him, and we get a view of the stage, and that's just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, well, it is not snowy outside for those wondering, but it looks gorgeous, and we'll see if Lierrey has any other, I guess, like, I think before the semifinal, he's making a couple smiles here or there, a couple looks at the crowd. Seems like they're just trying to get ready. But I think we should possibly just talk about these drafts a little bit more, because they have to get into that lobby, they have to get started, and then when they do, it all begins. But at first glance, it's very hard to play this, you know, to have a conversation on
let's look at the first map.
Okay,
so the first map is Frigid Lake, right?
Yeah.
That's the first map because it was the last one left on the drafting board.
Sure, yeah.
Now, options for Frigid Lake, for TaToH. We mentioned the Khmer before, but you know what? The Khmer pick, it wouldn't surprise me if he picked Khmer to make Lierrey think he's going Khmer on Frigid Lake, and then he goes for something else.
Well, they could. I mean, you've got, the other thing to mention here is they do have 8 civs to play.
Yep.
And there's only 7 games.
Yep.
So you are going to have even if it goes to 7, you are going to have a leftover civilization. What I love about the Khmer on that map specifically is that you don't need to make a mill for some of those farms. It is so difficult and annoying to have to make an additional mill for farms because of the ice terrain on that map. So I feel like Khmer is a safe pick there, and Franks maybe could be saved elsewhere. But I think that Lierrey is going to go like Byzantines or Chinese. Remember, the weakness of Chinese is they've got 0 food, right? You have instant food underneath your town center on Frigid Lake with those fish. So I think maybe Chinese there.
Maybe he sticks with the wall and feudal approach, right? Wall and feudal, get up to Castle Age fast, and then pressure. It worked for him against Vallessa. Granted, it was only 3 games. We'll see if it can work against TaToH. Also, something that I noticed here, and I think you mentioned it once in the Civ draft, Magyar's not picked a single time throughout all of these.
It's a little surprising.
That is incredible.
Yeah, a little surprising, right? Especially when scouts could be so prevalent. But the balance change that happened prior to this event it added a lot better economies, you could say, for some of these civilizations. And so, you know, with Magyars not having an eco bonus, maybe that puts them further behind. But also could maybe tie into the styles these players want to have, right? Like, you know, we talked many times about some players wanting to finish the game fast. That's how the Magyars work. So if you don't pick the Magyars, that tells me that you have the confidence that this game's going to go super late, and it's just like fast forging and fast iron casting is a necessity.
Yeah. What do you think about Bohemians here? If he thinks TaToH's going Khmer.
I mean, you know, Bohemians would be really awkward on this map. I think you've got to have a decent stable line on this map. And particularly if you've got options to make camels as well.
Yep.
All that's good. So like Byzantines, Hindustanis, I mean, Cumans, probably not going to be picked. There's a lot of camel civs out there. So I think Bohemians is just another archer civilization in the pocket of Lierrey.
Yeah.
The additional mining.
Well, actually, Shoals is in the map pool. I don't even know why I'm talking about this.
True.
Shoals is in the map pool, yeah.
I agree. Well, remember, it was awesome games where we saw Bohemians, Byzantines, and then like Italians, I think, on Shoals.
Yep. So you're thinking maybe Chinese from Lierrey. We're thinking probably 60% Khmer from TaToH.
Yeah.
You never quite know with TaToH what you're going to get. There are other options for him here. And then we move on to the other maps. I mean, Shoals, we've seen Bohemians many times.
Yeah.
Lierrey did go Cumans, but then he said in this
He's like, I have no clue
interview,
what,
he said,
I was doing.
I went Cumans, I didn't know what I was doing. He didn't know what I was doing. It worked out.
Yeah.
And
well,
then,
just to
Outcrop?
circle
Sorry.
back to this, like, it's super important. People are going to say, start the game already with the
Yep.
14s, I'm sure. But, like, if you have one civilization which thrives on a specific map, let's say your best civilization for Bull, and then you play that on game 1, you might not realize till, like, game 4 if you're not properly prepared.
Yep.
So you lose that game 1, and then in game 4 you're at a disadvantage. So my point is, they have to know before the series starts pretty much where they're going to play these civilizations, but also what the opponent's going to do. And then they have their ideal list, but then they have to have the counter list. And it's really complicated.
And they didn't have a whole lot of time walking from there to the stage to get this done. So that's what they're working on right now. Age of Empires 2 is as much an execution game as it is a strategy game, if not more. And a lot of that strategy happens before you even load in.
Yeah, I mean, the level's so high now. The civilizations really do matter, but it's so funny. It's just like the tiniest little bonuses. Like, explain this to a beginner and say, oh, the Khmer are fantastic because they don't have to place 100 wood for a mill. And they're like, 100 wood? What? There's trees everywhere. Like, how does that save you that much time? But it really does. But I think for TaToH, the civilizations for game 1 is more clear for me, which definitely leans that into a must-win scenario, right? Because if there's like a throwaway pick or something that is a bit risky for Lierrey and he wins with that, obviously Lierrey is going to love life then.
Oh, man. I'm thinking about these other maps, too, like Bull. Does TaToH go for Turks again? Lierrey's going to know exactly what's happening, but everyone knew exactly what was going to happen with Turks. No one's been able to stop it yet. I think Turks have a 100% win rate on that map.
I think Hera had the first 2 wins, and then Hera lost to his own strat, pretty much. I mean, it wasn't his own strategy. It was just a civ choice that ended up proving very strong.
We have Gajaras, another question mark.
Is there a map where, actually, you know where Gajaras might be picked? Outcrop. There's 12 extra sheep.
Maybe.
I mean, we've seen other civilizations as well.
Yeah, and then you go Shirvamsha and then
camels.
Chakram. We saw that before. There was a game on Outcrop with Chakrams.
And we were just in the back room like, you just can't kill the Shirvamshas. I think it was versus Mayans, if I recall.
No, that was Hindustanis. See? Ooh, things are getting difficult. So many games in such a short period of time. They might have both happened. TaToH looks like he's getting ready to load in, and he's going Khmer. No surprise there. Beautiful Ballista Elephant on the desk. Khmer being picked for TaToH.
I just want to say to all the viewers who've been here all day, who experienced some Age of Empires 1 as well, by the way, how crazy was that? I mean, you basically have, like, if you followed Viper's reign of winning everything for like a 3 or 4 year period, maybe even more, that's essentially what Chim Sedang, I can't say his name, and it abbreviates it. He's a beast. He had like 45K viewers on his channel the second it started. Massive fan. It was so fun watching that, even though I knew no clue what was going on, or had no clue what was going on.
Well, it was still Age of Empires, right? So, like, at one point, Tristan looks over to me and he says, like, who's winning? And I said, well, I think one guy is just getting completely destroyed.
But they're just like, they are superstars over there.
Yep.
They played so well. And it was just so cool to see, you know, everyone come together. And I think that's probably, you know, the big initiative here from Microsoft with this event, you know, to bring the different age games and their communities together. And so anyways, how cool it's been, obviously seeing familiar faces out there online. In person has been wonderful. And it is going to be Hindustanis for Lierrey up against the Khmer from TaToH.
I feel like that's a good matchup for Hindustanis. If you get late enough in the game.
Yeah.
If you get late enough.
Yeah, I mean, an interesting one for sure. I think the economy for Khmer could be tricky, but the wait is almost over. We have a best of 7.
Grand finals of Red Bull Wololo Legacy. So happy to be here. So happy to have everyone in the crowd here as we get started. Looks like Lierrey and TaToH are in the game, and we should be in shortly. Also, everyone online around the world, Age of Empires friends, welcome to our best of 7. We're going to start this one off on Frigid Lake. TaToH's going to be playing the Khmer. Lierrey is going to be playing as the Hindustanis, and we should be joining in just a second here, folks.
Yeah, and the walls will likely come up here, Dave. We've got people doing cheers, which can be good for the concentration of the person they're cheering for. But the hype is real. And we're going to be in this game here. And here we are, game number 1.
Yeah.
Let's get locked in, ladies and gents. We've got a stable opening for Lierrey. Of course, has won so many Red Bull Wololos, has appeared in almost every single final. But it could be TaToH's time, Dave.
Yeah, now we have a pause here as the players... Maybe there's a map bug. Maybe we have to restart the game, or maybe, okay. It's just a pause to adjust something, and now they're going perfectly fine. No buzzkill there, folks. We are still in this game, and it doesn't look like we're going to have to restart.
TaToH's map is really not the map that you want to start this off. His wood lines are very difficult to wall, and his gold's very forward here. So I think TaToH's, right off the bat, is going to think heavy scout play.
Yeah, ideally you want that wood line in the back, right? You want the gold around the side of the main pawn, not within range of the main pawn, which it is right now. TaToH is closer to that pawn, though, so maybe he can go out for water pressure earlier, but he's sending the scouts in. He's looking for some chip damage here. It's only 2 scouts, and there's a lot of villagers with a spearman on the way, so I don't know how many villagers he can potentially kill. Meanwhile, Lierrey doing the same thing, and TaToH, well, TaToH can hide in houses. TaToH has spearmen of his own. Yeah,
lovely patient play there from TaToH. He didn't even need to run away. He knew exactly what the situation was there. And this is just players trying to get into the moment here. I'm sure the nerves are flying. Sometimes it takes a game or two for those nerves to disappear, but a difference in approach. We have Lierrey going for the archery range.
Yeah.
Has 1 villager on gold. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But forging already for TaToH, so he's thinking heavy scouts.
I think Lierrey's map is definitely better as well. Like, he's got wood lines he can wall to. The wall potential is way better. It is fortunate for TaToH that he does have that gold in the back. There's a secondary gold behind his base, so if he gets kicked off the main one, maybe loses water, he can go back to that. As now Lierrey forward, this is a very familiar sight
the scouts
here.
for TaToH, though. The scouts for TaToH are going to loop in here. And Lierrey's there already with the 2 spearmen, perfectly positioned as well.
TaToH avoids those 2 spearmen. This is so familiar, though. Like, Lierrey, 6 scouts. He's getting bloodlines right now, and he's already at the front of TaToH's base, trying to take down the spearmen that are there in defense. But now TaToH is defending as well, so this is pretty even here.
Yeah, but again, the main difference would be is that one player is going to have some archers to take out the spears. So if TaToH doesn't get some damage in, which he's going to find, he's going to get 1, he's going to get 2, he'll get more if this continues. Lierrey's going to be heading out across the map at the same time, though, Dave. So we have a lot of exciting moments to wait for.
Like, look at how far he pulled those spearmen away, Tristan. He's killed 3 villagers now from Lierrey. Lierrey, though, is in the wood line from TaToH. TaToH can hide inside the houses. Lierrey is just trying to take out these villagers. He's weakened them. He'll remember they're weak, and he'll come back there at some point. But right now, TaToH with the advantage, killing 3 villagers, and we heard the crowd reacting to that. I think there might be more TaToH fans here than Lierrey fans.
This is where TaToH, though, is hoping that there's no archers coming out across the map, right? He's going to have to fight this off, but if there's archers at his base soon, he could have some problems. Trying to see, what are they doing? They're in the middle. There's so much to look at right now. I swear they're on the way right now. Yeah, there they
archers
are.
coming across. Typical Lierrey. He's always got archers coming in, and he goes for the quick walls there. He's going to wall up his wood line. Really nicely done. But now scouts with the bloodlines, with forging, with archers, with spearmen are going to be really difficult for TaToH to deal with.
TaToH just fights it back. He's like, get out of here. But this is awkward, right? He still has to micro his scouts on the front. He's going to get another villager, and that's 4 villagers killed. And he'll take the spearmen. He could go for more kills.
Yeah, Lierrey is just kind of camping those farms. Now, as TaToH goes for a market here, he does have the stone to sell, he does have some wood to sell, and he can maybe consider buying his way up, but I mean, with that military pressure at the front, as he's attacking a farm there, maybe not paying attention to the army at his own, or paying too much attention to the army at his own base, he can't really justify buying his way up here because of that military pressure. He has to make units.
Yeah, and he's going to do it, Dave. He's going to do it. He's going to make scouts, and he should have another stable out there as well, if I'm not mistaken.
The classic Lierrey. Look at how much military is at the front there, and there's more on the way.
And the patience, too, right? He's so patient, and he knew if he left the hill, he could have some problems. Another pick off there for TaToH.
Yep.
He has killed 6 villagers and only lost 2.
It's actually crazy.
But this pressure from Lierrey is so bad that TaToH has to make a tower, which is less than ideal.
Now TaToH, not a lot of villagers near that TC, so Lierrey can comfortably run around that.
I think there was a hole in that wood line.
TaToH found the hole in the wood line. I'm not sure how much HP those scouts have. Lierrey can fight that off. Things are getting messy for the Austrian, though, as TaToH now goes for a defensive tower on that wood line.
Wow, so he purchased stone so he could do that. I honestly don't mind this. I wish he could just use the tower against the spears. You take the spears out of the equation a bit earlier here, and it's a better fort for you. And in the end, Dave, he does clear up those spearmen. He is able to chase Lierrey away from this.
Yeah, Lierrey has weakened a lot of villagers, but he hasn't managed to kill them. TaToH's done a great job hiding in his houses, building the tower, managing to save them at the last second. Lierrey still has that army forward, and TaToH can't garrison anything into the TC. There's nothing nearby at the moment. But TaToH is surviving. Yeah,
and the towers really help out. The Khmer farms are so much easier to place because you don't need the drop-off point at the mill or the town center. And what a ballsy play from TaToH. He says, okay, I can hop in houses and I have a tower. Yep. I'm heading to your base. You can't hop inside houses. Your base is not walled yet. And what a great moment from TaToH.
Look at the upgrades on the scouts.
Look at the farmers.
Full feudal upgrades on the scouts.
Yeah, the farmers are so exposed. So what Lierrey will have to do here is he has to dive as well. This is going to get really crazy. I think we're going to have like 6 houses fully garrisoned.
This is going to be so messy, dude. This is going to be so messy. The scouts are coming into a completely wide open farmland here. It was a peaceful farm. And now TaToH has interrupted that peace with violence. Lierrey needs to go all the way back to the TC, and he needs to send his army back too.
If he sends his army back, it could be the game. That's the opposite of what you want to do. You need to try and get some counter damage in. He's got no food eco, Dave. He's got nothing because of this. Even just keeping those villagers inside the town center is death for Lierrey. He needs to defend from this.
Yeah, and even if he didn't get any, like a huge amount of kills from that, the idle time was ridiculous, right?
Well,
Lierrey was
has
thinking
no
about going up.
Yeah, he can't do it. He can't make army right now. Actually, he could. He has the food. He's not doing so.
Though he kind of wants to go up to Castle Age. Doesn't want to invest in feudal anymore. But at the moment, he only has 325 food, so it's really tough to get that done. That was a great pickoff with that spearman.
With one spearman. What a nerd, dude. What a nerd. But what a start for TaToH, Dave. He's killed more villagers. I think he's had the better eco.
Yep.
As you said, though, there's definitely less resources banked for him. So if Lierrey is able to get to Castle Age, and he could get camels out, it could put a complete stop to this.
TaToH has 3 stables making scouts right now.
He should make a 4th.
He's got 4 scouts in the queue, and I mean, full feudal scout, it's the best unit you can make in feudal age, especially when your opponent has a wide open base like Lierrey, especially when they can't just hop in a conveniently placed house nearby for shelter.
Khmer are so good here, but can Lierrey defend? I mean,
he's got so many spearmen. I think he can.
He does.
As long as he walls correctly, and you see him walling to the left, he's walling on that wood line, and he's just like, okay, you can go under my TC, that's fine.
It's such a gutsy play, isn't it? It's like one of those things that just shows you how good this guy is and how confident he is.
And now TaToH is looking for damage, and he's not going to find any.
Wow.
He was adding in all of those scouts. Lierrey's on the way to Castle Age right now. The scouts are still doing damage, but Lierrey has managed to get his way up.
He doesn't know about that, Dave.
He doesn't.
He has no clue. He's like, why are people, if he heard a roar, he might be like, I killed a scout. That wasn't that big a deal. And another little doink there from TaToH. Look at this.
Yep. Eco KD is 15-6.
Yeah,
It's
it's
15
insane.
to 6. The only problem right now is that TaToH is not going up. But if he idles for just a minute, he'll have enough.
Yeah, and check it out, man. He's going to kill another Vil. Also, the positive for TaToH is that Hindustanis can't make knights.
Yep.
So opening with camels is not actually that great a play, as TaToH's able to get past the quick wall attempt there, as scouts are on that wood line as well.
Yeah, those wooden villagers need to be worried. I mean,
Yeah.
they're knocking at the door, and oh no, he's constantly there. He split up that scout to
Yeah,
try
it's
and
so
draw
good.
the army to save the other guys. Lierrey didn't bite, and he bit back on that villager.
Oh man, TaToH's just in laser sharp form right now. It's incredible what he's able to do. And again, this is confidence from him. He made Lierrey the most aggressive player in Empire Wars history.
Yeah.
Bring all that army back home to defend. That's how scared he was.
Also, you look at the idle TC time here. You would expect with the feudal age pressure from TaToH,
Oh my
it
God.
would be more, but
the spears
Lierrey,
are out of position. TaToH's in on the other side now. This is amazing for TaToH, who is on the way to Castle Age, Dave, but the pain will not stop for Lierrey.
The only thing Lierrey has right now is that he's in Castle Age.
Yeah,
that's the
it.
only thing. TaToH is a ways away. He's 2 minutes away from Castle Age, but he's picked off so many villagers. 21
Look at this micro.
to 6.
He splits them up. He switches positions. Now, important moment in TaToH's base. There should be spearmen waiting there, and it's just perfect. He's got the proper number of spearmen because he knew the Lykev would be coming.
Camels are being added now from Lierrey, and he adds his second TC.
Yeah.
And this is a position that Lierrey isn't going to be very familiar with, right? He doesn't have pressure on his opponent. He's trying to catch up in villager count. He's just trying to macro his way back into this, but Lierrey is the guy that should be pressuring his enemy.
TaToH's looking for weak vills right now. He attacked that villager because it was lower HP, I believe. Just desperate for more kills. And right when it's all over, when it's all over, he's just going to loop right back in.
I'm still here.
Dude, I mean, I would be so annoyed.
Oh, no, he's back again.
I would be so annoyed right now if I were Lierrey. Oh, man, and it just won't stop, Dave. And now your counterattack is like having Camel. It's not the tool you want.
And this is, what, the 4th, 5th time Lierrey has tried to leave his base?
Yeah,
and then
just
he's
can't do it.
forced to come back. I mean, he still has the light cap here, but TaToH is tracking that perfectly. He can hide in the houses, and there's another army of spearmen coming right as these camels arrive. Lierrey is trying desperately to stay in this game, but he has 29 villagers right now, Tristan. TaToH's at 55.
Yeah, I mean, almost double the Vil count for the Spaniard as he clicks Pikeman, and that's pretty much going to put an end to anything Lierrey can do in Castle Age, right? I mean, I guess Lierrey does have an attack in the back right now. Lierrey really needs this, but there are still pikes around. The possibility to hide in these houses is save TaToH yet again.
I would suspect there's quite a few weakened villagers in TaToH's economy right now. I mean, Lierrey has just been hitting him over and over and over again. Thank you, Mappy. You can finally see like the effects of those raids, but TaToH managing to survive at the last second keeps that villager count up. 28 to 6 eco KD. The camels are back here, but now the pikemen are in, and TaToH's just in his comfort zone.
I think you just have to hope that TaToH makes big mistakes from here, but deep down, Lierrey knows that he's probably dead, right? The score actually is very close, and you are Hindustani, so you have different options to go to. Probably, arguably a better tech tree as the game goes on as well. So it's just going to be so tough, man. When you're behind this many villagers, TaToH is able to just have his way with you.
Yeah.
He does have the second town center now. TaToH will likely add the third, and he should be on the offensive with the pikemen and knights.
So you think it should just be pikeman knight from the Khmer player? Does he mix it up at all?
I think the longer the game goes, the worse it is for you.
Yep.
I think if he knew he had a 23 Vil lead, he would go all in Castle Age. Okay. Oh, wow, that guy's like trying to do his friends a favor here. He's going to lose his life over it, but look, TaToH's looking for weak Vils. Mapu, if we could see the HP.
Oh, nice quick wall there from Lee. Oh.
And then he lost another one.
Oh, no. Very demoralizing for the farmers.
Yeah. Yep, indeed. Well, I mean, your 3 town centers. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Game 1 semifinal between Hera and TaToH, where Hera was behind in Vils, and he just sat back with defensive options and tried to take it later.
I mean, Hindustanis, if we get later on in the game, I favor them over Khmer, I think.
I agree with you, but with this Vil lead at the moment,
this is a big
as long as
discrepancy.
TaToH uses it, man, I think that he can win this over the next couple minutes, more so around like the 90, 100 Vil count is when he can just go crazy with military.
And Lierrey knows he needs to do damage. I mean, he's coming forward right now. The Siege Workshop has Scorpions coming out. The Monk has a Relic coming in. We've got a dock now from TaToH. He sees an army that's on
Look at the
terrain.
scout.
He can demo it, and he makes a dock.
Yeah, like that scout tracked that whole army coming in as well, which was so epic. The Scorpion won't accomplish too much, though, and actually, suddenly, the dock could be denied, and some awkwardness at TaToH's base.
Do you think it's demo right away?
Oh, of course. There's no other unit he's going to make. there's
My
no
brother.
other unit. and now, like, Lierrey will know that, right? So Leary's going to have to respect it and be careful if he ever leaves, which is awkward when there's a Siege Workshop there as well. But TaToH could maybe send the Scorpion next to the dock, start to shoot, and then bait the demo in towards it. I don't like how TaToH has 30 pikemen, bro.
Yeah, what? 30
pikemen? I didn't realize that number was real. I thought I got it wrong.
Well, at least he's not queuing up anymore.
Oh my God. He has enough pikemen to last him to the 7th game in the series. But like, I think, you know, you need to, you know, make a unit that could push out across the map, and that unit's going to be Knights. He has made a few of those.
Okay, Lierrey. Well, he's on 3 TC. TaToH going for that 4th TC in the back. He knows he's ahead of Nico. I mean, you have to be ahead of Nico after killing that many villagers. And he's taken some excursions into Lierrey's base since Lierrey got to Castle Age. So he knows about that 2nd TC. I don't think he knows about the 3rd one, as Lierrey now goes for a 4th TC. And we've got a state of the game that I didn't expect between these two, which is a 4th TC kind of boom off.
Yeah. No, I agree, and it does bring back up the point we mentioned that maybe the Khmer could struggle.
Yeah.
Because their best gold units are like Ballista Elephants and Battle Elephants, which is just far too expensive for a 1v1 in most
Lierrey
cases.
needs a dock.
He does need a dock.
I'm looking at that army of 30 pikemen.
Yeah, I know, right? He does need a dock.
How nice would a demo be? TaToH queuing up a couple more demos. I think Lierrey's smart enough to just take everything to the outside.
Yeah.
Like, catch me outside, not near the demo ships.
Yep.
In the walkable terrain in the middle.
I'd love to see TaToH use this army, gain a position, and then send villagers forward to drop a castle. Because it's so difficult to push back a castle because you can't drop a castle next to your starting town center.
Yep.
So typically what happens is it's castle drop on your town center, you make a defensive castle next to it, you go imp, rams, whatever. You just can't do that
what a
here.
snipe. What a snipe. What's the HP on those light cav? What a snipe there from
8
Lierrey.
HP.
8 HP. What value from that army. Very, very nice. As there's still a Monk alive, he's trying to take that down, but
that's a lot of Scorpions,
dude,
man.
This army is a motley crew of misfits. We got 3 Scorpions.
Oh, okay. Well,
3 Scorpions, some pikemen, and 3 Knights. I mean, you can't even. That loses to the stable.
That's
basically.
True. That's a good point. I mean, remember, you get extra range on your Scorpions if you're Khmer. It's very difficult for those crossbows to have any effect.
But
on
you
this.
can't take care of buildings. It takes you so long to get through the buildings, so you need a follow-up of some kind. Or you bank on your superior eco, try and get the stone like he's doing, and then eventually go for a castle.
Also, look at the worker efficiency last minute, okay? This gap has been there for a while.
84%.
That's the Khmer farming.
That is insane.
That's the Khmer farming on a map, which farming is so awkward.
Yeah.
Now, there's a castle for Lierrey. It is kind of next to his starting town center, but that's not it doesn't protect a lot, right?
Do you think TaToH went so heavy? I mean, he's made 4 Scorpions. He's also made a couple demos. Is he making like an anti-Ghoulam defense already?
Yeah, I mean, I actually think if his opponent goes Ghulams, he'll kind of like that.
Yeah, you can just switch into Knights.
You can switch into Knights, but also it's just not Lierrey, right? Like, Lierrey's crossbow Knight player, and Lierrey's still trying to make crossbows. He like went to crossbows because he saw the pikemen, but again, what an awkward army to deal with. Do you dock around your starting TC if you're Lierrey right now? Just to make demos?
I actually, no joke, 3 days ago I gave that advice to TaToH. And his eyes kind of lit up. He's like,
oh. That's a great idea. Well, I mean, right here, certainly it might be worth it, and it would be less investment, but it's just going to be another castle for Lierrey. And TaToH catching up on some upgrades here and making Knights, so he's definitely going all in.
Oh.
Ooh, that was oh.
Well, I mean.
Okay. Don't mind if I do.
Can we get out again? No, I guess not. Double castle here for. Lierrey has stabilized really well, but TaToH coming forward with that castle has to be concerning. And now when you're Lierrey, you're thinking about what am I going into late game, right?
It is concerning that TaToH has 0 army here right now. Like, Lierrey's castle and TC positions defend from everything. So if this castle gets spotted, it could be problematic for TaToH, who is on his way to the Imperial Age.
Yeah, TaToH's clicked up. Lierrey with 33 on food. I mean, his eco is not looking that bad. 36 now. He keeps adding more farms. He's got 600 gold in the bank. He should be clicking up soon. And he's going to have these camels into the back of TaToH's base. And I don't know if TaToH has any defensive pikemen. He's got 1.
Yeah, it's funny. He's had so many pikes, but he hasn't really been able to use them. I don't think he can really have to complain. Oh, no, he's got to leave his gold. And the monk, which is getting the relic, is going to die, and...
Oh, come on. You can't give him that conversion? Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
The monk was shouting for so long there.
All right. Well, good resistance there from Lierrey, I guess, as Lierrey clicks up to Imp. And Lierrey idled his town centers the second he saw that castle from TaToH. So correct move from him to realize what that castle would mean. Doesn't mean he's still going to... I still don't know what his army comp's going to be in early Imperial Age.
Okay, Lierrey has 2 golems. 2 golems, still has these camels, not finding much value. All his raids haven't found that much value at all.
What a great
and he's
castle.
Slowly just pushing out. He made the second castle was amazing, in my opinion. It prevented TaToH from harassing the farmland, the woods, everything like that. The third castle is great. He secures himself another gold, and he can kind of slowly shift over to that side of the map.
TaToH is giving Lierrey a lot of respect right now. A lot of the camels were forward at his base. Those knights, they dive, they kill everything. Those knights really need to go in, and he needs to realize, like, he doesn't have army here right now.
Yeah, and Leary's looking at this like, I hate this movie. Why did they make a sequel?
Yeah, I know, it's
the
horrible.
Knights come in
Just
again.
horrible.
Oh boy, this is like the 6th time I think TaToH has come in this way, and he actually pulls away the majority of his knights.
So good.
Keeps some attacking because he knows he'll get the same value from sending his full army in here, there that he does from getting these 4 knights in there.
Yeah, that castle spot is denying gold from Lierrey, and he'll also be able to make trebuchets. Look at the resources from TaToH. Now, I don't think he should, but if he wanted to, battle elephants would be on the menu.
Okay.
This man, he wants peace.
We were speaking of mutual respect.
He's like, guys, listen, trust me. I'm not going to attack. I'm going to be friends with you. Stop.
Camels don't make friends.
Certainly not Hindustani camels.
Yeah.
Well, the correct play from TaToH is to go for Halberdier and then Cavalier. Just make this army that he's currently making stronger, but good rates there from Lierrey. I mean, Lierrey, I thought was dead about 15 minutes ago,
I think
20 minutes ago, and he's in the game.
This would be an absolutely incredible comeback if he made it. I mean, but we have to point out that TaToH's kind of given him some air, right?
A little bit.
And maybe really confident in his eco lead. And the eco lead shows with that incredible army push through there. He's got so many halberdiers, 34 halberdiers, 30 knights right now. He's got Trebs on the way, Scorpions behind. Lierrey can't push up that hill. He just cannot. But Lierrey is at 107 villagers, and he's getting heavy camel right now.
And the Ghoulems have done a lot of damage, too. Like, the Ghoulems on the other side really have done work to TaToH's economy.
Yep.
And he's had to send the rest of his army back, but he is underneath the TC now, Dave. And again, it's the same farmers.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's not the same farmers. It's like their grandkids at this point.
Exactly.
It's like 3 generations of farms. They cannot leave for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And they're not enjoying life.
Neither of those halberdiers that are just attacking the farm. Okay, TaToH misclick there. He's going to task them onto the villagers now as the camels from Lierrey come out to try and deal with those scorpions, which have been a menace this entire game. Trebs, though, take out that first castle, and Lierrey, with no counter pressure whatsoever, is just simply dying to the army from TaToH.
And, you know, it's not because TaToH's army composition is necessarily better. It's because he has more, and he's had more, and he continues to just slowly constrict Lierrey, push him into the back of his base. I mean, Lierrey's going to be out of gold soon, right? Like, that front position is what he needs for gold, and I still don't think that he can do this. I don't know what he makes here.
I mean, TaToH is underneath Lierrey's starting TC with his entire army right now, and Lierrey can't do anything about it. He might be able to clear up the Cavalier that we see currently, but the halberdiers are going to deal with the camels, even though there's more on the way. And TaToH will have more army on the way. He's still got 29 halbs. He's got the Trebs, and Lierrey taps out. TaToH taking game 1, convincing fashion.
Yeah, I mean, and Lierrey put up a big fight. He's sitting there thinking about it, but we have ourselves a final, ladies and gents. And all I saw from TaToH, I'm trying to look at the player cams more, and I highly encourage it from the viewers at home because it's just so rare that we get an amazing land like this. TaToH was laser focused, dude. He was laser focused. He is laser focused. He's so serious and he's got a taste. He needs 3 more of those, and he's the champion.
Well, I mean, earlier this year, it was brought up all the time, actually the past few years, how TaToH, you know, he gets to that decider game and then he just can't close it out. What was it, like 16 games in a row that he couldn't close out? And then finally, he kind of broke that. It was 3 months ago. I can't remember the tournament. It was maybe RMS Cup against Hera, potentially, or Titans League or something like that. He broke it, and he hasn't looked back since. He's just been a super confident player. We've always been waiting for him to get to that next level, right, to win a championship. This looks like it's a day he could do that. I mean,
seriously. I mean, again, if you didn't know any of the specifics about these players, but you simply just looked on their performances in previous Red Bull Wololos, that would not be what you would have expected there. But he's a completely different player, and Lierrey suddenly has more and more challengers to that throne that he's grown so used to sitting on.
Interested to see the next map. Does he just go? Does he go like Acclivity here? Does he go Morass? Does he go probably not Morass? Probably Acclivity and then Arabia.
You know, Acclivity is a map that should be the go-to, I think.
Yeah.
Right, because you have Aztecs, and it's apparently Arabia. Okay, and it's on your screen now. So so he's gonna go Arabia. I'm excited to see what TaToH does, because in the previous game on Arabia, which would have been in semifinal against Hera, full feudal, destroyed Hera. Then, game 1 of this series, Frigid Lake, full feudal, destroyed Lierrey.
Yeah.
Will he go like Franks or Bulgarians or something full feudal again?
What do you pick on Arabia if you're Lierrey?
Okay, so you have to do process of elimination. I think on Arabia, he goes something standard with archers. So I think you could go... I still am uneasy on Chinese, personally. Haven't seen enough of it, so I would say it's an option, but maybe not.
Lithuanians?
I was thinking like maybe actually Bohemians, maybe Incas. And there are going to be people out there that are like, yeah, but T90, those are not his best civs. But yeah, you got to win 4 games, right? So you have to use some civilizations you might not have used in more unique scenarios. So I would expect that Aztecs and Byzantines and Cumans are not on the list for Arabia.
I think he's saving Bohemians for Shoals. So I don't think that's
good.
That's
I
potential
agree.
for that. I think he's saving Cumans probably for Morass, likely. And then, well, Aztecs for Acclivity. So if we go with that theory, then he's got Chinese, Lithuanians, Incas.
I like Lithuanians
Byzantines?
because Lithuanians could go knights, and then if they're up against a camel civ, they have like sick pikemen. Up against an archer civ, they have skirms. And you also can get the edge with your own scout rush if you want to do that. So, but there's no like bad answer necessarily. But as you said, and you're right on Bohemians, I'd be very surprised if it's not played on that map. So you just do have to save some stuff here.
I'm nervous for both of them, honestly.
Dude,
like Lierrey's been here before, so I'm like less nervous for him. But like TaToH, at what point does reality hit you? That you're in a grand final, the biggest tournament in Age of Empires 2 history, and you're the one sitting up on the stage.
The thing for TaToH, though, is like he opened this way against Hera and lost game number 2 and then turned it around no problem. So there's not this worry that, you know, if you get smashed in this game, like absolutely embarrassed in this game, that you can't bring it back mentally, because he lost in a 6-minute game in the second game against Hera, and that didn't matter. So, dude, he's so ready. I love to see players locked in like this. Obviously, biggest moment of their careers as well. And Franks is a good pick here, Dave. I like it a lot.
Franks is a great pick here. It's just a solid pick, Empire Wars or not. A really, really good stuff for Arabia. And Lierrey, I would expect to go with an archer civilization. When we're thinking about good matchups against Franks, I think Byzantines could be an option.
I think if it is Franks versus, well, it's going to be Franks versus whatever we're going to see Lierrey goes for here. Wouldn't surprise me at all if TaToH goes for a range opening. Because the devastating thing about going scout opening against Lierrey is if you have like 4 scouts, let's say, and Lierrey just walls in his vills, he's suddenly going to have 3 archers, 2 spearmen, and you have nothing at home.
Exactly.
So I think you open range so you can snipe the spearmen, and then when you have more farms, you can go scouts later on.
And I think they're in the game. We don't see the civ yet from Lierrey. We don't know what he's playing yet, but I think they're, oh, there it is. Lithuanians on Arabia. That's a solid pick there. Lithuanians really good, in my opinion, on every map in Empire Wars.
Well, let's see. I mean, you start with extra food as Lithuanians. If there was ever an invitation for scouts, this would be it, and we're here.
Game number 2.
It's going to be scouts here for TaToH. And it looks like it's going to be scouts for Lierrey, so no archer play to open up Arabia.
Yeah, scout v scout, may the best horse win. And usually that's the Franks, but once Lithuanians get bloodlines, it's going to be the Lithuanians in the feudal age.
Yep.
And then we'll likely go into a relic war in the middle of the map, as we often see. Both players going for relics, Lithuanians for the bonus, the other player to deny that bonus. And there's a hole. There's a hole and there's a hill.
That is a super annoying wood line, man. I mean, he's going to chop through those trees pretty quick. But if it is scout v scout, it is purely execution from here. And in most cases, you tend to see spearmen, scouts, and walls.
Yep.
And they don't normally switch back into archers. So we'll see.
Those Ostrich and Zebra are awfully far forward there for TaToH, but he's protecting them with a Spearman, and he's also got some scouts running around near Lierrey's base, and Lierrey has an exposed villager there. There's a Spearman coming along the way. I don't think, TaToH's not going to bite. He's not going to bite.
Lierrey did get housed there, actually, and you can see him send 2 villagers to that house, so he misplaced the foundation earlier, and I don't think TaToH will pick up on that, but that will set Lierrey behind in population. Now TaToH's got a villager. This villager should die. Let's see if TaToH tries to save it. Lierrey being very patient, though, and he loops in the other scout and just goes on passing.
Such a good defense. I think sacrificing multiple scouts there to get one villager is definitely not worth it, especially in an Empire Wars setting like this, when you know your opponent's going scouts as well. I think you just need to keep your numbers up, keep being annoying, and look for a perfect opportunity to strike.
It is significantly harder for TaToH to do damage with a scout rush, though, because the spearmen are so fast for Lithuanians.
Yeah.
So look to the KD in a moment here, because I think if TaToH ever moves out, which he might not do, he could find himself without a few scouts.
Lierrey, though, gets at it. He takes a run, basically a jog through TaToH City, and he gets out with essentially unscathed. I mean, a little bit of HP chipped away there, but now he comes back to the middle, and TaToH is coming forward with scouts of his own. And Lierrey scouts are about to be stronger than TaToH scouts once Bloodlines comes in.
They are a little weak, though, right? So obviously Bloodlines gives additional HP, but it is on top of weak units. But yeah, Forging, well-timed here for both players. Forging will apply to the Spearmen and also the Scouts.
As Lierrey dodges away from those Spearmen, and, well, we've got our meta matchup, basically. In the feudal age anyway, as now TaToH attempting to go for the walls, and Forging is in for both players. Lierrey will just kind of look for another opportunity and back away, and these guys are dancing right now. They're trying to get, like, even single hits can have such a big impact later on in a fight.
Oh my god, I just got to look at the HP on this one, and then you have to determine are the spears hitting or what. It looks like TaToH's taking the fight, both players committing, which is so rare, and TaToH will leave this fight victorious.
Yeah, TaToH has 3 scouts left over, Lierrey with only 2, but look at the HP on Lierrey's units, just no value there whatsoever, although it looks like Lierrey's gonna, all right, he loses the scout war and he wins the War of Sticks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's only fair. But TaToH is walling a lot more here, Dave. So that threat of bloodlines for the Lithuanians, oh boy. Wait.
Hold!
No!
We waited too hard.
Oh, no, wait again.
Wait.
Okay, well, he died. He's dead, but he can defend from this now. It was actually a really good sacrifice.
Yep.
And TaToH could probably get into Lierrey's base as well soon with the scouts. So, interesting moment there.
It definitely was a moment.
We waited.
I was waiting for that all day.
Dave, there it is, though. There are the scouts. I believe it's on a spearman, actually, not a villager, though.
Yeah.
And that's just going to leave one scout remaining.
Over. Exactly. Now on the wood line, this is what I'm talking about. Lierrey looking for his opportunities, right? Like he runs away from the spearman, and suddenly he sniped 2 villagers on that wood line. As we saw the spearman coming into effect, and it's TaToH now in this game number 2, looking like Lierrey was in game number 1. Although Lierrey has killed a lot less than TaToH killed previously, as TaToH is only 1.5 minutes away from Castle Age. Lierrey is 2.5 minutes.
That hole can decide the game, right? Like, think of what would have probably happened. TaToH wouldn't have lost those villagers. There would have been no waiting whatsoever, so less boring, obviously, or less interesting. But, like, the scout from TaToH that tried to deny the wall, that was a misplay. If he had those scouts, he could scout the relics, and he could snipe the monks in the next stage. He's got no scout presence in the middle right now, which is not what you want against the Lithuanians.
Yeah, and he's actually, I like the fact that he's queuing up another scout.
Yeah,
here.
I do too.
He knows where this meta is going. He's played this matchup. Empire Wars or RM, it usually plays out around the same way, right?
Yep.
With the monks and the knights and whatnot. And Lierrey was trying to hide in the wood line.
Yeah.
TaToH says, wait.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, that scout is just going to be annoying, if anything. But this is just some good things to confirm here. I think the nice thing for TaToH at the moment is that he gets to go in, so that's kind of nice. But also, it's not heavy spearmen from Lithuanians. What I find so difficult is if they go knights with pikemen.
Yep.
And then you just don't know what to do as Franks. So later on, that's of course a possibility. But insta TC and monastery from TaToH as he leaves his base with another scout and will be making knights.
Yeah, and it looks like we're in for a long one here. We've got to start examining relic positions now. It looks like 2 of the relics are nearby to Lierrey's base.
Yep.
We've got 2 relics, one on either side of TaToH's base, and then one kind of in the middle, a little bit more towards TaToH, but I don't even know if they scouted that area.
Yeah, and the other thing here is you don't want to be too greedy with the relics because sometimes you need those monks in the middle to convert a knight or 2, and that can swing the fight to victory. So I think like the important thing for TaToH, since you have the initiative on the numbers, and you don't see scouts, like this is kind of risky from Lierrey to not have any more scouts. Just send the first monks forward.
Yep. Oh, nice. Good awareness there from Lierrey to finish those walls before that scout gets in there. TaToH trying to hold that open as TaToH is now exploring the rest of the map, and that's why he added the extra scout. That's why we were so impressed by it. It adds so much value, and he's going to know exactly where he needs to go with these monks.
Really like the decision from Lierrey to go iron casting here. It's very common for players to prioritize armor because of fighting underneath town centers and whatnot. But in this case, you're most likely just going to be fighting up against other melee units, and then you want extra damage output against monks.
Also, I think there's I see it a lot when players play against Lithuanians.
Oh, he was almost in there.
When players play against Lithuanians and Magyars, I see their opponents going for iron casting more than other saves, because I think it gives you a sense of comfort.
Like matching their attack.
Yeah. It's like, I can attack too, Buster.
Yeah, well, Buster.
I haven't said that in years.
Wow.
It's a special day today.
Really keeping it PG here for the kids at home. All right.
There's children watching.
Well, anyways, there are the monks in the middle from TaToH. And Lierrey's chasing. I'm sure Lierrey's trying to do a couple things at home right now. Let's see how patient TaToH is with this. He goes for it very early. And he gets it.
Oh my
God. There was no waiting. No waiting whatsoever there.
Holy.
He was ready to leave the Lithuanians, but again, it's just so good to see TaToH going for the conversions.
Ooh,
and he gets another one.
TaToH was charging that one up
it's
before.
true. It was loaded.
The monk was not retasked, but you saw the reaction from Lierrey.
Yeah.
He had his hand up in the air. He's like, what is going on? But TaToH did not retask that monk. So the conversion timer did not
started a little bit.
It did not reset. It was still going there. It was still fast, but it wasn't as fast as
I'm sure that's going to make Lierrey feel great when that's explained later.
I'm going to explain that to him.
Well, that
right as he leaves.
that monk is getting stabbed in the back at the moment, so that's a bit sloppy from TaToH. But right now we're looking at 10 knights versus 7. The conversions were really crucial for TaToH here, who's gained an eco lead.
Yeah, and here we go, more conversions. Lierrey is just running away now.
Yeah.
And don't go back. See how TaToH is not retasking his monks? He's letting them follow until they're way out of position.
And then
he will
they had to restart, essentially, yeah. But Dave, TaToH is making so many monks. He's making so many knights, and he has the eco lead. He definitely has the lead right now. Lierrey needs relics, and he needs conversions, and he's moving out. But both players didn't realize, oh my God, this is huge.
This is massive. And it's not about who can get the conversions on time, because I think all the monks will get conversions. It's which knights you retask them to after your knights have been converted. And it looks like TaToH lost 3 monks there.
Yeah, you need the monks too. Like, monks are a really big deal in this. And there's still monks following for Lierrey that I don't think have gotten conversions yet. And TaToH decides to go in to kill the monks, which is probably the right move, but at what cost?
It looks like Lierrey is winning this fight, folks. Lierrey has a lot of HP left on his knights, and TaToH not so much, as Lierrey comes over and tries to clear out that monk. TaToH gets another really valuable conversion, but that's what, the 6th monk that he's lost?
On the bright side for TaToH, though, he does kill almost all the knights.
Yep.
So he did, and also he has 1 monk with 2 on the way. Lierrey has 1 monk with 1 on the way.
Yep.
And Lierrey has 0 relics. So there was actually a fairly even trade as far as Knight Monk is concerned. Normally, after the initial engagement, TaToH's going to be worse off, but he just continued to produce those monks, Dave.
Light cap coming in, too, for Lierrey, as he's got 2 monks in the queue. We can look right now at the economic situation. Lierrey at 58 villagers, TaToH at 71 villagers.
Wait.
And
Oh, he noticed it. He saw it.
Yeah.
He pulled it back. He's bringing it over because he saw that scout.
aware. So aware. Both of these players are playing in tip-top shape right now as the Knights come over. And Lierrey's just kind of baiting that scout to come back towards the monk, and he manages to clear it up. He's going to get another relic in. Actually, that's going to be his first relic of the game, I believe.
Yeah, and that's huge, right? If he would have had a couple more relics in that previous fight, I think he would have won that fight pretty
TaToH
easily.
manages to snag this one up against the corner. So he doesn't see the relic up there. Thank you, Mapu. He does see the... No, he doesn't see the relic on the left. Interesting.
But does Lierrey see that? Because I think Lierrey also has no idea. So honestly, the focus for me right now, apart from relics, is just that fight up the middle. There's all these hills, which are really going to give important position. And TaToH's also doing the Frank Classic, and he has villagers on stone.
Yep.
So if TaToH takes a good fight, or even if it's going to be a 50-50 fight, he could send 10 or so villagers forward and just drop a castle on Lierrey's face.
Yeah, and TaToH's got pikemen now. 7 in the queue. He's got multiple barracks producing the pikemen. It's going to be difficult for Lierrey. What would your advice for Lierrey be here?
My advice would be scout, right? Like, he has a light cab right now, and they're just sitting there.
Yeah.
Send one of them and see what's happening, because if you don't know what's happening, you're not going to be able to make the appropriate choice. He wants to go all in knights. He doesn't even know his opponent has pikemen.
Yeah.
There's 14 of them, Dave. TaToH loves pikemen, by the way. He has so many of them.
Okay,
And here it comes.
Atonement coming.
Oh, man. Lierrey's thinking TaToH is like 3 monastery monks right now. That's the only thing that makes sense in his mind, which is why he also went for light cap. The pikeman play is never anything he expected here.
All right, here come the Knights. He's trying to cut off the reinforcements. There's so many pikemen on the way, although that is a lot of Knights, and if they outnumber them by that extent, the Knights can kill the pikemen. Still a lot of monks there for TaToH, and the monks from Lierrey are just too slow. They're trying to make their way around. TaToH with the economic lead, TaToH with the military lead, and here come the boys and the girls across the map to make a forward castle.
This is funny, though, because Lierrey wants to convert the monks. He doesn't want pikemen.
Yep.
He's like, why would I take trash units? But the pikemen are what he kind of has to convert.
Yep.
So the pikemen take the monks out of the equation. The knights are in, and TaToH's going to drop the castle there, Dave.
TaToH's not messing around, and
But
I
wait,
don't know if
wait.
Lierrey can stop this. Can he stop this? He's going to kill the monks. He's going to kill some of the pikemen, but there's still a lot of Knights there to protect. TaToH trying to get the castle down. I don't think Lierrey has enough.
No, and he's losing villagers, Dave. If that castle goes up, that solidifies a 20-villager lead for the Spaniard. When you lose stone to the Franks on the front of your base, there's going to be more castles.
Yep.
This is looking so bad for Lierrey.
Yeah, and Lierrey may clear out a few Knights, but he can't stop the villagers. He can't stop the castle, and he's kind of shaking his head right now, as now his farms, his gold, his stone is all cut off, and Lierrey is behind in military, behind in eco, behind in everything to the Spaniard.
It was a complete misread. It was a complete misread. He did not expect TaToH to have the numbers of monks initially, and then he never expected the pikemen. TaToH up 2-0 here. The Doritos are flying.
This is completely unexpected. This is completely unexpected. This man, Lierrey, has been in this is his 5th Wololo finals. He is a 2-time Wololo champion, and TaToH is up 2-0, and that was Lierrey's home map.
TaToH has been the absolute best player so far.
Yep.
In this series. There's no question of it. I can't even hugely question Lierrey's strategy.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen the crossbow play from Lierrey, right? So, like, maybe you could say Lierrey's got to go early crossbowman because that's what he can do.
Yeah.
But my God, TaToH played that one wonderfully. Remember, he lost 3 villagers in feudal and killed 0.
Yep.
And I think Lithuanians are actually easier to play with the mid game, with like the monks getting the relics, faster working monasteries, and the speedier pikemen. All the things that TaToH just won with, the Lithuanians could effectively do that much better.
Also, like you brought up a good point. We've only seen the cavalry play, none of the archer play, and we know Lierrey for the archer play. And we look at the remaining civilizations for him. Chinese, Incas, Bohemians, Cumans, Byzantines, Aztecs, all civs that can play into early archer play, into crossbow.
And it's interesting because now TaToH, I'm sure he still feels nerves, but he's a lot more relaxed because you can lose a game or two here. You can have a throwaway. You can have a game that doesn't go your way, and it's not everything. But every moment, every game feels like everything for Lierrey when you're down 2-0.
Well, I mean, I've talked to a lot of players, and a lot of the players here actually think that being up like 2-0 or 3-0 is more pressure.
It's more stressful. Yeah, I can see it. It's like, especially if you didn't believe beforehand, I'm sure TaToH has more self-belief, but it's like, oh my God, can I do this thing, right?
Exactly. And you
And
start to get really shaky.
And that was a conversation we mentioned before about how sometimes TaToH had a history of making it to a decider.
Yeah.
Then the shakiness sets in, but 2 up on Lierrey, man. What in the world is this?
He just looks so focused. I can't believe that that's a factor.
Yeah, but
not anymore.
But as game 3 has been told to us, it's going to be Morass here. I do think we have to question the lack of scouting from Lierrey.
Yeah.
That was really a surprise that shouldn't happen at this level. It was 15 pikemen with upgrades the first time he even knew the switch was coming in.
Mm-hmm.
He misread it. He thought TaToH would have a dozen or so monks and that Light Cav Knight could do it. And TaToH played it perfectly.
So Morass coming up, and that was, well, it was a map that Hera beat TaToH pretty convincingly on.
With Bulgarians, which TaToH has. Bulgarians, I think, has a 100% win rate on Morass.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad for TaToH either. And I think the counter to Bulgarians, if you're expecting man-at-arms, has actually been the Cumans. We've seen the 2TC play on this map, though I'd consider it risky. But even just having the cheaper archery ranges and stables can allow you to get a bit more army out to combat the Bulgarians.
Yeah. I think you just have to choose your opening unit so wisely, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like, if you go scouts and your opponent is just sitting behind and with spearmen, walls, archers, you could get super punished by that. You have to have a range follow-up in your mind immediately after going for the scouts. If you go for range, you go forward, your opponent's just double range skirmisher to counter you immediately, and then they go into scouts. It could be an issue.
Yeah, I think Bulgarians and you could actually make your opponent fear man-at-arms. There's so many mind games because you have to. The tricky thing about this game mode, guys, is that you have to commit to something before you know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whereas in Standard Age of Empires, you have more time to scout. So your initial strategy has to be that strategy in most cases.
Lierrey looks like he's getting ready. He's getting settled up for the game ahead, and it is Bulgarians. It's a beautiful little conic there.
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Where'd the horse go, though?
Yeah, I know. Someone deleted him. Yeah, Monk came in. It was about to be converted. Got deleted, and then this guy's
back from the dead.
Yeah, back from the dead. What? Cumin? It has to be Cumans, right? Because I just don't.
Cumans. I think Cumans, and I think what you do with Cumans, I think the mistake that Lierrey made with Cumans when he played them against TaToH initially on a close, he didn't go for pressure. He tried to go for the 2TC boom. You could maybe try and do that on Morass with the TC in the middle, but I think you go for pressure, and then once you have an advantage over your opponent, that's when you add the second TC.
Yo, look at how many pages were filled out in that book.
Yep.
Dang. I was impressed.
Beautiful background, by the way.
Yeah. Also, candles. I have not confirmed if they are real or not, but I'm going to assume they are fake for safety reasons, and I have not seen them get any smaller. I know you were really concerned about that detail. Everyone who is listening was like so curious on the brand of candle, everything. So just helping you guys out.
All right, Lierrey getting ready, and he's going to go for the Cumans. I think this is a good approach. I just think he has to open military, keep up the pressure.
Yeah.
Don't base your whole strategy around that second TC. Play the game very aggressively. Try and match your opponent's military, kick them off the fish. If you find a moment to place the TC, do it.
Yeah.
And just gain a bigger advantage.
100%. And when TaToH, whoa, hold on. Here's a stat. Here is a stat.
Okay.
Not that this will matter to TaToH. They have played each other now 4 times in a row, and TaToH's 4-0.
Actually,
4 straight wins against Lierrey.
Actually true.
That's nuts. That's why I said, whoa. Because they played each other in the best of 3.
Yeah.
It was the same score right now. So if TaToH can just get another 2-0 or win 2 more games in a row, that would be crazy, right? 6 wins in a row against the most accomplished Empire Wars player ever. Anyways, they apparently had an issue with the spawn on the map. They're going to get a restart in here. But.
Yep. I also have an additional stat here. Lifetime, Lierrey against TaToH. TaToH has 5 wins and 11 losses. But in terms of game count, TaToH has 24 wins and 29 losses. So the series count, maybe coming back to those decider games again, is not that close at all. But the games count, now this is across Empire Wars and Standard RM, is actually only 5 games difference.
Sure, yeah. Well, if you have not seen the map that is about to come, I will make it simple for you. There's lots of fish and there's lots of aggression. And the map typically doesn't give us very long games.
Yeah.
It could be just what Lierrey needs to get back into the series.
Okay, we should be loading in here. I see them in the lobby there as they start this over again. And the game is starting.
That's definitely the starting.
The countdown. We all recognize that one. As TaToH loads into one of the most important Age of Empires games of his life. He is up 2 games to nothing, but you certainly don't want to drop one. Not now. Not against Lierrey, who has so many Archer civs left in his draft. TaToH is going to be going for a civ that I think is just extremely strong here. I mean, Bulgarians, you can open with the men-at-arms. We first saw it with Jordan. Follow up with some Krepos control over the middle and just inject the shorefish right into your food eco.
Will we see the double barracks from TaToH? That was a strategy that Jordan showed. Jordan, of course, a teammate of TaToH. It is known, but is it possible to stop? You could see double barracks man-at-arms, or you could see 0 man-at-arms and a bunch of scouts and archers.
Yeah, I think the men-at-arms is more of like a surprise thing as Lierrey kind of rolls his eyes there, so maybe
they must have had another problem. Yeah.
It might be this map. Something about this map.
The way, like, there's so much stuff happening with the spawns. Unfortunately, you just get unlucky sometimes and villagers get caught in resources. So when this first started years ago, that was a much bigger problem.
Huge problem. But, oh my goodness.
It's not anymore. So thanks for bearing with us as we wait. It does happen on occasion, though.
Yeah. Shout out to our maybe not the best time to shout them out, but our brilliant map scripting community who has brought us so far.
Wow.
No joke, they brought us so far from the way it used to be. And this is a custom map, Morass. And when you get custom map, especially with a lot of shorefish and the stuff in the middle of the forest and whatnot, there's higher likelihood that it's going to bug, especially with Empire Wars. Spawning in automatic buildings. It's amazing we can even do this game mode at all without, you know, TCs spawning in woodlines and whatnot.
Listen, I've heard a lot of good things said about you over the years, but the most overwhelming number of people always say that you're timely, if anything.
I'm timely.
You're timely. Yep. You know what to say, when to say it.
I'm also shiny.
You are shiny, but we're not on camera right now, so that's good. Well, again, as we've said, humans have to open up somewhat defensively. And I say that if the man-at-arms come out.
No, I think they can open up aggressively. They save the wood.
Once the buildings are up,
on the archer end.
The problem is like,
well, how are you going to open up anything else before you have buildings?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, well, the barracks. You start with the barracks, right?
Yeah.
And TaToH is using the barracks. So we have the man-at-arms on the way. Now, something that can happen with this map, and this is actually more beneficial for Lierrey, is that generations can be very close or they can be very far. So this is about as fair as it gets. They're on the opposite side of the map from each other. Lierrey's going to be letting out a little sigh of relief when he sees how far he is.
Yeah, and he knows exactly what's happening. I mean, if he checks that man-at-arm, in 1 second, he'll see the armor on it, and he'll see the second barracks. He's scouted 2 barracks already.
Oh boy. Okay, so you remember his interview in the after the semifinal? He was like, 2 barracks? I didn't even know. And so he's reacting now. He's going to place a tower. The other thing to mention, this map is a nightmare to quick wall. It's not easy because of how the shorefish are positioned. It's usually not a map that you can defend with walls with. And so far, just because the man-at-arms came in on opposite directions, it's looking okay for Lierrey to defend this.
I like how willing he was to just send the villagers against them, even with the armor, and forging is in now, so those men-at-arms are going to be very deadly. But Lierrey wisely keeping his archers at home, wisely going for a tower there, which I think is, I can't remember who Jordan's opponent was in that one match. It was TaToH, but I think TaToH delayed that a little bit because he was kind of surprised by the strategy. There's no surprise here as 6 men-at-arms are on the field right now from TaToH, and they're looping around to the gold. I love the fact that he's just splitting them up.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to watch because eventually the men-at-arms just don't look very good.
They have no value.
Yeah, exactly, but he's finding value. 1 man-at-arm, 1 scout is such an awkward thing for Lierrey to have to defend from, and this is as he's trying to move out in the middle as well. But I think TaToH's going to have to be worried here because if the men-at-arms have a short lifespan, that's pretty much all he's got right now, and he has no tower at home.
He's already teching into armor, though. He's teching into armor. He's adding a second stable. So TaToH is going immediate 2 stables, and I think he can get away with it because of the shorefish, unless Lierrey cuts him off the shorefish. TaToH also at the back of Lierrey's base with those men-at-arms as he comes in against those fish. The men-at-arms do have armor and foraging. They're so tough to fight with villagers.
Yeah, they are so slow, though, and if you think about the area that you want to be attacked on in this map, the area you want to be hit on is probably gold wood farms, right? Like, what you don't want to lose is your shorefish.
Yep.
Shorefish is what's going to win you this game in most cases.
Well, not if you're going archers and you're still trying to produce archers and you can't get that gold income. I mean, TaToH trying to go for a defensive tower here as Lierrey continues to push in. TaToH saved a villager earlier on 1 HP. He's not going to be able to save these ones as he loses 3 villagers now. Lierrey ahead on the Eco KD, 4-3. TaToH will get the tower up, and I believe that Lierrey needs to leave, and he should probably deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, how, right? It's like he has to send archers back, and as you mentioned, he doesn't exactly have the consistent gold income for that. I think that tower was just enough for TaToH because now he can really expand onto the fish.
Yep.
And now you have a similar situation for Lierrey where he has to go to other resources.
Before that tower, he wasn't really getting food income from those fish because he didn't have a safe place to take it, which meant the double stable switch has been delayed. He's only adding 1 right now. He's only got 2 on the field. He does have armor. He does have attacks. So they're strong. No bloodlines.
Oh, boy. Okay, quick walls from TaToH. The men-at-arms are finally getting cleared.
They're so annoying.
They got great value, though.
Yeah,
they got amazing
value on those men-at-arms.
And there's a market for TaToH as he's going to try and buy some food here, most likely. I mean, what he really needs right now is he needs one of those stables to research bloodlines. Yeah. And then he's maxed out with upgrades.
Ooh, Lierrey.
Lierrey.
Don't go in like this unless he can find...
Ooh, wait.
The angle?
Ooh. That hurt. I mean, I would lose, like, all my archers. I don't know how his archers suddenly have, like, 10 armor or something.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get as much value, right? And some of those are 1 or 2 hits away from scouts from going down.
Look at the resources for Lierrey. He got the armor, he got foraging as well, but he's got 500 food in the bank as he queues up 2 more scouts. So both players are just kind of adding a little bit of production. The fish is just a constant food supply, which means you can add scouts at the same time as banking resources go up.
Well, it's an interesting spot, right? 7 spearmen right now for Lierrey. There's 0 for TaToH. So if Lierrey can make it to Castle Age faster with his spearman defense, then suddenly I don't know what TaToH does against Knights. So it's worth the risk if I'm Lierrey to try and get Castle Age.
Okay, so both players just kind of settling down at the moment. TaToH still adding 3 scouts there from double stable, and Lierrey trying to go for the walls.
Oh boy! Wait,
still accessing
did Lierrey
the fish.
track that? Did Lierrey see this? Does he know they're on the way? It looks like he's pretty much walled up already, Dave. Great timing from Lierrey, and he's waiting for it.
Yeah, he knew exactly where that army was. He still needs to, I think, defend at the back of his base, which he's fully walled, but maybe there's an opening on the other side.
It's super weird. Could we see Mappo a little bit lower, maybe? Like to the rightish? I mean, I think there's a hole over there. No, there's not.
There's not. Good job from Lierrey.
Yeah, really good job from Lierrey, and actually amazing job from Lierrey. So he pushes the attacks away, and he's in Castle Age faster. This is not what TaToH wanted to see.
And TaToH invested into those scouts. It cost him his uptime, and he hasn't really gotten any value from them. He got plenty of value from the men-at-arms early, but now as Lierrey is going to have the advantage to the Castle Age, the eco is more or less similar. They both have a lot of villagers on the shorefish, and Lierrey has managed to wall his side, which TaToH hasn't really done. He's only still got that tower. Maybe thinking about another tower or maybe some Krepos later on.
He has 0 spearmen. So, I mean, not having spears could be a bit of a problem here.
Lierrey had archers, right? So maybe that's the reason he didn't go for any spearmen, as Lierrey is now trying to find value. TaToH just says, all right, you can squeeze on by there as long as you leave. I'm perfectly content with that. Now it's Lierrey's turn to try and hit the back of TaToH's base, which is kind of actually wide open.
Super open. Everything's open. All the villagers are for the taking. TaToH actually, this is so smart. He's like, go ahead, try and take the vills. I have the scouts here. And actually, once TaToH completes Bloodlines, I think he can defend from that.
No, look at that. 365 HP versus 230 on those scouts.
I suck at math, but I think Bloodlines is going to make that closer. I'm very curious now. Hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
20.
Wait. Don't be sassy. Just wait for that. That's close.
Okay.
That's not bad.
It's close. It's close, and now he adds a couple extra scouts, and Lierrey needs to run away. Lierrey is getting the second armor upgrade and is getting light cav. He's also going for a monastery and another stable as well as he clears up the stuff in the back. That's really, really nice from Lierrey because that could have been a headache. Those scouts.
and also remember what happened in the previous game is he didn't have the monks out early, right? So now he has more monks on the way, and he's going to dive with a very awkward feudal age army, but a very effective army.
Super effective army, and TaToH can't quite get the walls. He was thinking about walling them in with the villager, sacrificing his life, and the villager goes down. The tower is still working away. Lierrey's going to clear up the scouts on this side with the +2 armor and the light cav upgrade, but now there's knights here from TaToH. Still really good damage in early castle age from Lierrey.
I think the big thing that could save TaToH is the fact that he can afford more upgrades in most cases, but he's just not saturating the shorefish in the same way. He has no potential for a counterattack. And finally, we get to see the aggression from Lierrey. He's not defending. He hasn't really defended. He's been the aggressor, and even if he loses this fight, it's just the spot you want to be taking fights.
It's a huge amount of value, even from Knight HP. It's a huge amount of value for this.
And look at the shorefish.
The archers. He's back on the shorefish again. I mean, there was villagers garrison that upper tower for a long time. There was villagers in this tower. He's found the second TC spot here from TaToH, and it's interesting to point out that our Cumans player is slower to that second TC than our Bulgarians player. We're already 14 minutes into this match.
Yeah, and now when you're on the second TC, you haven't taken any berries. It's so tough to keep the TCs pumping and the Knights pumping. Honestly, it might be best for TaToH to stop making villagers because he's got 6 in queue and he has no Knights in queue. He really just needs army right now, but it's so easy for us to say that, and the natural play is to always create your villagers.
I think the concern here for Lierrey is if you let TaToH get a foothold there as he finds his way in, and TaToH calls the GG. No concerns for Lierrey. Let me take that one back. Just like Lierrey took a game back in this set, and it is 2-1 for TaToH. Lierrey finally on the board.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the game he wanted. He seemed to know exactly what to do, exactly what to do once the man-at-arms arrived, and again, aggression from Lierrey. I mean, with the man-at-arms play has worked in the past. Just from what I saw in that game, the fact that they had to hit a wood line in the gold was such a big issue.
Do you think TaToH thought Lierrey had a second TC there?
No.
Okay.
No. I think that TaToH was just not expecting Lierrey to ever wall. Right? Like, the walls were so perfect and so well-timed. If Lierrey plays somewhat open with more army, TaToH's scouts probably do a lot more damage there. And we saw how in Game 1 and Game 2 how effective TaToH can be with scouts. So, but yeah, if you thought that Lierrey was going to go down 3 games, first off, you're crazy. But second, no worries there. We're going to have plenty more action from him. And hey, what was that, like a 12-minute game, 15-minute game? He gets another one of those. Suddenly it's 2-2 here in the finals.
And I love the way he played Cumans. He didn't focus on that second TC. He went pure army control. Utilizing their bonuses of cheaper buildings to get the army out faster. Like the archers were out super quick for him. Even though he took some damage from the men-at-arms, he managed to just kind of ignore it. Like he just straight up ignored it, kept going out to the gold, and then coming forward to the shorefish from TaToH. And once again proving that shorefish is just the most valuable thing you can have on that map.
Yeah, that's all the map is really about. Not a ton of like long-term strategic diversity on that map. We of course have those types of maps in this map pool, but we also have the punch you in the face type of map as Morass. But TaToH's home maps are very different from anything we have seen so far.
The bull.
And the bull will be the choice, Dave. And will he go for Turks, you think?
They haven't lost yet.
Yeah.
I feel like TaToH starts doing worse when he lets things get in his head. Maybe we just need to chill a little bit, go for Turks. They haven't lost yet. You have a decent-ish sample size now of 3 games with Turks where they've looked really, really good. And you played it earlier today. Let Lierrey pick a civ to try and stop it.
No, I agree. It has looked very good. Obviously, TaToH, I think he has to give himself a lot of credit as well for how good they looked in that game against Hera. But my goodness, man, Game 4 coming up here shortly. I don't know if I have seen many of the civilizations in Lierrey's arsenal and Lierrey's draft on this map. Like Byzantines, no. Aztecs, no.
Incas, I've seen.
Incas I think Veleza did once.
Incas are not bad here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Aztecs would be bad either, but it's also a process of elimination, so I think you might want to save that. But The next one is a must-win. I think the previous game was a must-win for Lierrey. I think this game is also a must-win. Going down 3-1 to TaToH means he'd have to win 3 straight, and he's simply too good for that.
Look at that. Look at those eyes.
He's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to himself. Now, he's probably speaking in Spanish. So
Thinking in Spanish.
Yes, thinking out loud in Spanish, I guess.
But, okay.
Oh, here's a question. Like, you don't know many languages, but like, let's say, you know, someone knew like 5 or 6 languages. What language do they think in? Their native language?
I think it depends on the circumstance. I'm pretty sure you could ask any of the Germans in here that speak English.
It's it's true. It's true. I imagine you would think in your. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
Let me ask you this one: which language do you dream in?
Oh, what if it's different? What if it's different?
Cue the music.
Someone just said they think in binary. That's perfect. Okay, well.
Okay. Well, nice. Lierrey thinks in archers, so. TaToH thinks in demos. It's a very lively
demos, Doritos.
Sleeping experience over there. Yeah,
of course. Oh, man. I think we are going to have one really juicy demo before this final concludes, by the way. I don't know who it's going to come from, but we've got enough maps where we could see it. Namely Shoals, like your call out on Shoals with hiding the demos behind the rocks.
I told that to TaToH the other day again, and he's like, "You can do that?"
Guys, Dave went around to like everyone he could. He acts like he just had a conversation with TaToH.
I'm an equal opportunity demo enjoyer, okay?
Hey, did you guys know that you can hide his demo behind a rock? And then it's like 10 minutes later, he's like talking to someone else. I walk up, he's like, demo behind a rock? And it just happened a whole week, man. He just wants somebody to do it.
Well, TaToH was the only one that was interested.
Oh man,
I hope we see it.
It would be funny if, like, because you told so many people that it's stuck in everyone's brain.
It's now meta,
yeah. Or they just don't travel past the rock at all. But once again, ladies and gents, we're in the grand final. It doesn't say so on your screen, but it is a best of 7. So we have 4 more potential games for you. And we've had a good variety so far.
I like this.
And Byzantines is just that safe pick, Dave.
Yep. Very defensive civilization. If you think you're going to be pushed by the Turks, you can make some spearmen to deal with the scouts. You can make some walls to keep your eco safe. You have faster Imperial Age if you want to pressure them. You have castles with more HP if you want to stay alive.
Yeah.
There's just so many options. Good monk tech tree, good siege tech tree, like everything for the Byzantines.
And it's Byzantines versus Turks, baby. All right, 1453s.
what a classic matchup here.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Wow. Well, interesting to note, as the walls are very common on this map, that TaToH is kind of walling a slightly different direction here. There's a scout attacking, though. The Spearman's out of position, but I think Lierrey's going to have to bail on this.
Yeah.
Good awareness from TaToH.
And TaToH at the exact same time attacking a villager over here, and now TaToH is going to have to bail on that as Lierrey is coming forward, and he's doing the aggressive approach with the Byzantines.
With the villager.
He's got a villager forward. He's got spearmen forward. He's got a scout just kind of observing the action. As he sends an archer now, he's trying to keep this open, Tristan. I think he's just trying to hold this open.
Maybe.
He wants to make it messy for TaToH. He doesn't want him to give him the opportunity to take those berries, but TaToH has now walled in that spearman and kept the villager.
But the scout's almost dead there. That villager's going to die as well, and this has actually really confused TaToH. Not the opening he would have wanted.
Is there
a
hole there? Is there a hole in between the woodline and the house?
Oh, there. Can you double click? Yes, there is. There is a hole.
Click through. Spearman is going to discover it.
And then TaToH will realize.
Oh, my
TaToH will realize. Yep, TaToH noticed now, and Lierrey has no clue.
Lierrey doesn't know.
Command Cutie, you gotta force it.
There we go.
There we go. All right, but Dave, honestly, TaToH's eco is horrendous right now. He hasn't been on berries the entire time.
And that might be one of the keys to this Turk strategy, right? Until you can go to the fish on the side, until you can maybe get some extra food income, berries are going to be very valuable for you. So Lierrey holding TaToH off the berries there, and he will continue to do so with the archer. And now Lierrey is looping around with 2 villagers to that middle area, potentially looking to wall TaToH in. But I think TaToH has a villager looping to the south, and that one guy is still alive.
Yeah.
That was forward, but he's heading home now. His work here is done.
I'm sure people can realize this, but just to reiterate it, you've got to loop around through, like, is that like the ears of the bull?
That's the horn and then the ears.
The horn, yeah, so beneath the ears is the opening if you don't want to chop through. And so now players tend to send army towards the middle And if Lierrey has archers and spearmen looping around, it could be a really big deal because I don't think scouts alone can deal with that right now from TaToH.
Yeah, and I think TaToH's villager was immediately going to that side. So he's got another villager coming around to wall this side, and his villager was going to try and wall that side. And if Lierrey doesn't go through that gate fast enough, TaToH might actually be able to wall in the gate.
I think this is way too ambitious from TaToH, and he realizes it. Like, you got to question the opening. He's really surprised by it. He lost a lot of scout HP. He doesn't have a lot of control. He will now lose his scout, and yeah, Lierrey's in a really good position.
And now TaToH is walling up on this side. Similar wall to what we saw against Hera.
Yeah.
I think he walled over here, and then he was trying to chop through the middle. Hera held him off that for so long, but TaToH eventually got through. He's going for another tower again.
So that's unique. That's really unique use of stone here because he's using, I guess, using 75 stone to wall, and yet TaToH sees the hole. And then the other to drop a tower because he knows archers could come over there.
Okay, so gate on both sides for both players, fish on both sides for both players. Lierrey is now walling up. So for the first time in a long time on this map, we're going to have a safe fish for both. And now maybe... Where does your focus shift? Does it fully shift on the middle? Are we contesting the shore fish at the top? Like, noticing the hole is Lierrey?
Oh my God. Can you imagine? That would be so frustrating.
2 times in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's something you have to check, right? And that's something that Lierrey did. I'm sure he needed the market anyways, but Leary's on the way up before he even uses the market. And there's TaToH. I'm sure he'll buy some food, but to answer your question, Dave, as always, it depends, right, on which area you focus on. But if the player has the middle, if one player has the middle, that's usually an invitation from someone to pressure in the north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very obvious, though. If the player has the middle, it's very obvious to the guy who has the middle that the other guy should be going up top.
Yeah, but if you defend up top, then you don't have the middle, and it's
that's what I'm saying. Like, which area do you prioritize
it's
here,
tough.
right? It's very tough because there's a lot of resources on this map, and we can see Lierrey just kind of putting his eye on that gate and keeping an eye on it and making sure that TaToH doesn't come through once again. He hasn't even tried to go over to the wood line from TaToH yet.
We have seen more spearmen in this series so far than I think in any previous series. Like, we're probably going to see pikemen from Lierrey. He's got 7. 7 spearmen. That's so uncommon for him.
Well, he is Byzantines, right?
Yeah.
When in Rome.
Indeed.
Or Eastern Rome, I guess we should say.
Just don't let Riley correct us, and we're fine.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
We can get away with that.
Scouts looping around from TaToH. They're not going to find anything, just more walls, and he's going to be attacking that gate from the other side. Lierrey will get through and only find walls against TaToH, and both players now in a race to the castle edge, which Lierrey is, well, he's already won.
Yeah, let's see if Lierrey is tempted to go fast imp. I think it would be a big mistake, and yeah, okay, never mind. He immediately clicks pikeman. He can now see that his opponent's about to chop through. He drops a town center on the stone, and there are just some scouts, which will soon be like.
And he's going up to the north. So Lierrey is making that switch first.
Oh.
And he's got spearmen up there to defend him. So
did TaToH notice that? Did that spearman actually see the foundation?
TaToH did, but I don't think he has anything to fight against spearmen and a TC.
Yeah. Mapu, can we see that again just to make sure I'm not seeing things? Okay, so he knows about that. I mean, that for me is a target, but as you said, then you're not focusing on the middle, so it's really tricky.
Yeah, and you haven't teched into any archers or skirmishers or anything like that, or siege or anything.
TaToH's buying stone. He's buying stone for a castle because he can't comfortably mine it. That is so expensive. I mean, it's going to shock Lierrey because Leary's thinking there's no way this guy can make janissaries and a castle. So he's going to think, well, is there a stone in his base? I don't understand, but...
He's buying it for 181 gold.
And
there we go. He buys another one. And where is this castle going to go? Is that castle just going to go on the farms?
Hide it.
But it's not hidden. It's very visible to Lierrey, and Lierrey is going to get through here. TaToH trying to quick wall. He does get the palisade wall up.
Oh, no, he chopped a tree right after. Oh, no. You've got to be kidding. He can't believe it. I mean, good damage control from TaToH here, but how frustrating is that? There's another hole and a quick wall. Trap him.
Trap him. Trap him.
Oh, no! Wait. We're good. Kind of. Sort of. Finish the castle, TaToH.
Uno reverse.
He has to finish the castle. What is happening? They're so focused, but this is just so funny. I think in the end, Lierrey's going to take this, though. Lierrey's so happy. His TCs are pumping out villagers, no problem. And if he wants to leave with that army, he can. Oh, my God.
What a series of events there. What an emotional roller coaster for everyone watching, the two players and everyone here in Heidelberg. As we have Lierrey now with 3 TCs, TaToH with a castle. Villager difference is not that much at the moment. 57 for Lierrey, 46 for TaToH, with TaToH having 2 more fishing ships. But Janissary is going to be tough to stop. I think the Byzantines have plenty of options.
I think
monks are good. The monks are a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, it is tricky, right? Because the monks have 9 range, the Jans have 8, and insane attack. So you do probably need to have a buffer. I think all Lierrey wants to do is he just wants to comfortably get a castle, or worst case, some towers up in the middle. But he knows now, right? So he can heal up his army. And honestly, I don't even think you have to take amazing trades. Just keep tossing away knights when your economy's this good.
Yeah.
Losing the knights is not a big deal. It's just, you got to stop TaToH from expanding around the map.
Also, you're taking the stone. So if you can hold a forward position and get a forward castle, you can go up to Imperial Age pretty cheap with Byzantines.
I honestly, as we see a 4 TC, and actually he thinks twice about it.
Yeah.
Look at the economy. 71 versus 55, but Lierrey has the shorefish food.
Yeah.
And he's got insane farming eco as well. So his eco's in a position where I think he can push back anything TaToH sends his way.
Also, town patrol, I think, is underrated here for Lierrey. He's going to put those outposts down. He gets automatic town patrol, and that means his vision is just insane. He knows if TaToH is going to move out. He knows if TaToH is going to take those golds or those stones. And he'll also be notified of the raids up top way before they happen, as TaToH now comes up here with a couple Janissaries and a camel and the light cav.
I'm laughing because these villagers have no defense whatsoever.
None.
These villagers.
Are we playing AoE 1?
These villagers have been sent here to work, but they have no interest in ever escaping, I guess. But, you know, what this should be is an invitation for Lierrey to drop a forward castle, right? Because the Janissaries have to be massed, and they have to be in that one position. So I think Lierrey's going to send villagers forward soon, and I was wrong. The knights are here. It should be a decent fight for TaToH, though, because he's got camels plus the Janissaries, and Lierrey just doesn't care.
Look at Lierrey just completely ignoring the camels. He's like, I'm going to clear up these range units that are very, very difficult to mass. You only have 1 production building for them. I'll clear up the camels later, and he gets a really good fight. Lots of dead camels. Almost all the Janissaries are dead.
He was there so fast, too, Dave.
Yep.
He was there immediately.
Look at how many he has on food, too. 41 on food for Lierrey, 22, half of that number on food for TaToH, and a lot of those are on the shorefish, so collecting very efficiently or dying very efficiently.
It's just additional food. You know, they get caught in the net, who really cares? But in the end, it's going to get cleared up, and TaToH is 1 TC, Dave. He's 1 town center. So he has to kill 20 more villagers to be even.
They're both going to go for a castle here. They are both going to go for a castle. TaToH feels like he needs the pressure. Lierrey feels like he can get something aggressive.
Boy.
I think we might have a moment. I feel like we might have a real gamer moment coming up.
We have a defensive castle.
Oh, no.
But that's the smart play, right? Because that is currently where TaToH is pressuring. TaToH, though, he could pressure the middle. So I don't think TaToH knows about the northern castle, but if he were to know about that, he would immediately come to this location.
Yeah, I also love how Lierrey is collecting the relics. There's relics at the bottom of this map, all 5 in the same position. If you have monasteries, you can bring them back. There's the second one coming. I mean, there's tons of gold in the middle, but Lierrey's getting that passive gold income from these monks.
Lierrey sees it or senses it, and he's coming with the Knights, Dave, but he is not there yet. The TaToH needs his castle to complete. This gives him a real chance. The relics are underneath this. There's stone and there's gold.
The Knights are coming, though.
Lierrey's going to drop his own castle.
Gamer moment. I wasn't wrong.
He deletes the monastery.
Deletes the monastery, but can't put the castle down because the relics are in the way. I was just saying how good the relics were.
Oh, God. What is happening? I mean, he's got to dive, right? He has to dive here. He's made it so much worse for himself. He's got enough knights, Dave, I think, to deny this castle. TaToH has more villagers on the way, but the castle's only at like 50 or 60%.
It's not going to be enough. It's going to be a doubt castle for sure as the knights clear up the Janissaries, and the castle from Lierrey is going up, and TaToH calls the GG. 2-2 in your grand finals here. Red Bull Wololo Legacy. and our crowd's loving it.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not love this, right? TaToH opened up the finals and just smacked Lierrey all over the place, and Lierrey said, hold on a second. I've been here before.
Yep.
I'm not gone. I'm not going away anytime soon.
And
Wow.
Turks, well, they finally lost on this map.
They did, and I have to say, Dave, TaToH looked shaky this game. It really looked like the belief that he could win maybe started to hit him, and it just looked off. He made 2 or maybe 3 scouts the entire game, the entirety of Feudal Age. He gave up on cutting out really early and started buying stone. He bought a freaking castle. That's not normally a sign.
Like dry bought a castle. Like there was no stone.
No stone mining
bank,
whatsoever. And that's just not something that you do if you have a good plan. And it wasn't like Lierrey had the craziest opening. All Lierrey did was he went archer opening. And then, took it to the rest of the map and controlled the middle. And now TaToH has the very difficult task of trying to forget all of that.
Yep.
And just putting it behind him as he plans for his next game.
Oh, boy. What do you pick now from TaToH, Shoals or Outcrop?
Well, I think if he wanted to, he'd be crazy. He could actually go for Acclivity. I don't think that's a great play. Personally, I go Shoals.
Yeah.
The only argument against going Shoals is I think Bohemians are stupid strong there, and Lierrey has those.
Yeah. Slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Could be the idea. Now, what do you pick against Bohemians? You go Italians against Bohemians, and then it's like a race to imp.
Yeah.
And controlling the outer areas.
I think with it being cheaper to go up to each age, and also cheaper university technologies, Italians can actually be very competitive.
Yeah.
And they're a lot more versatile because they're better on water than Bohemians, and they have better stable options, which can sometimes be important on that map. Obviously, though, if the Bohemians get to that death ball, there's not much that many civilizations can do to stop it in most cases.
Yeah, who needs the help? It's just kind of brutal.
Yeah.
No matter what civ you are, and well,
we'll find out
lobby right now. They're just selecting their civilizations. They had to browse through their strategic notebook. What a finals we have here. 2-2.
This is awesome.
I was worried when TaToH was up 2-0, but I knew looking at those civs, Lierrey is always going to have a chance, and he's still got some really good ones, and we've been informed that it is going to be Shoals. TaToH's going to try and slow this series down.
Yep.
After losing 2 games. He's going to try and make it more strategic. Lierrey, however, has the most popular civ, I would say, for this map in the Bohemians. Lots of gold on this map. Bohemians get Hufnitsa, and you're usually fighting over a condensed area, and Hufnitsa can be so strong.
Was Lierrey, did they just panda Lierrey in the tech tree? I thought I saw a glimpse of tech tree there. I could be wrong. But Bohemians are kind of new, right?
He has teammates with Hera, so.
he's like, wait a second. He's like, how good are my knights exactly? Oh, God, my knights are horrible. I could go Bohemians on Acclivity and try Aztecs, but Aztecs aren't going to work. Blah, blah, blah. That's where his mind is taking him right now. Yeah. But it is one of those exciting moments for most people watching, because there are people out there who say, I know more than Lierrey. He checked the tech tree. What a pleb. I haven't checked the tech tree in at least a week.
At least a week.
Yeah.
That's why the wiki, though. Does that count?
I think it does, yes, because it's like a more detailed version of the tech tree.
Are we changing seasons in the back, by the way? We started in winter. I think we went to spring. Are we in summer now? Are we going to go to fall?
I haven't seen it.
Or are these
we're
just
in
like
fall here. Maybe that's the idea, is you go outside for fall.
I don't think that's the idea. I think that we might be doing biomes in the back there. Sorry, you've had some...
Also, there is a chance, like, this could be Shoals, kind of. You have the water, right? You have, like, the more tropical look. Maybe we just haven't been paying attention. Maybe it's based on the map.
No, it's definitely not.
Well, there was Frigid Lake, there was deer, and there was snow. It was Frigid.
Ooh, now you're making me think.
Right? Now I need to go back.
Was Arabia like that dusty one?
The dusty one? The dusty one.
The backgrounds are for the maps.
Aha!
You were right.
I was right.
It's a feature.
Thank you, production. Woo!
They're like face palming right
You just
now.
know, like...
Our casters are so dumb. They thought we were trolling.
How How dare you? Okay, how dare you? I mean, you know, the guy who had that idea is like fist pumping in the back right now. He's like, yeah, I knew that would be
noticed.
good. We somehow got here. We initially started with Lierrey tech tree, and now we got to production making fun of us.
We don't get paid for being smart.
but it's Bohemians, and it will be Italians for TaToH. If there ever was a halfway point, this will be it. But we're a little bit beyond that, Dave, as we have 3 more potential games remaining. Yep. Talk to me about the Italians, though, and what you think we'll see from TaToH.
Honestly, I think the Italians, I think TaToH is just going to go for some cavalry here. He'll go for a little bit of water pressure as he adds a galley in to try and contest those fish. Going to go for some mobility units, maybe, to contest the golds, and then try and get up to Imperial Age faster than the Bohemians, and try and just secure that with water pressure and with castles. Now, the one thing I noticed about this map generation, there is a whole lot of land area south of that gold.
Yep.
And that is not a usual thing, right? Like, usually the water is a little bit closer, and it's cut off, like at the top there, with a wood line. But there's a lot of space for activities. Ooh. Yeah, on that side.
There is a lot of space there, and obviously scouts are going to be the approach that lends a hand more with that, I think, because you can scout it later on. So I like the opening from TaToH. Reminder, though, guys, that Bohemians get the gold mining upgrades for free. So that's going to lead to a lot of gold income for Lierrey, who actually has sent another villager to gold. So started with 4, and now he's going to go archers, and he's going to go galleys. So he loves his wood gold units right now.
Yeah, and it's full walls from both players here. Just trying to secure, and the Lierrey now with the galleys coming in is going to try and snipe the fish from TaToH. Now that sea tower is very, very strong. You might think, why doesn't he just go under the sea tower? Well, it's got 7 attack. It has bonus burst ships, and it actually has multiple arrows. So it's kind of crazy if you get anywhere near that, as TaToH's has a turn now to come forward and try and snipe a fishing boat, but Lierrey is right there.
Yeah, nice job, too. Lierrey's blocking it off. And TaToH's just trying to even the score, but he has to be careful he's not too aggressive. Yeah.
He's gonna lose water from this. I don't think you can invest into much more. He's gonna go for a fire galley, which is fine against 3 galleys, but these 3 galleys can run around and snipe the fishing chips from TaToH. Now, it's not the biggest deal, because it's only shore fish.
Oh, yeah, but that's a little awkward, isn't it, right? Like, TaToH probably shifting his focus, setting control groups on the scouts. But you have to wonder if maybe the exhaustion is setting a little bit for TaToH, or the nerves, right? He won 2 straight, and now he's lost 2 straight. And he's such a good water player, Dave, and he's just kind of giving it up here.
Yeah, he's giving it up, maybe thinking about the next stage. I mean, with Italians, your focus is going to be getting onto water later in the game, right? You obviously don't want to lose your fishing chips, but you don't need to hold control that entire time, because you can always get on with your faster Imperial Age and take it right back.
God, I love Lierrey's timing on the walls. The last 2 games have been perfect. And also, I think it would be wise for him to bring his spearmen with his archers. Can we see if TaToH scouted the range here, Mapu? Because I think there's a chance TaToH didn't see the archer range. Yeah, he has no clue. So actually, the play for Lierrey is leave with what you have in there, and then your next one stays inside. Yeah. So it looks like you never left with anything.
He did. We were on Gaia's point of view.
Okay. Well, Gaia needs to pay attention.
Mapu's giving us the full realm of experience as we see what Mother Nature experiences.
Freaking Gaia, man. Get with it. But okay, so TaToH has an idea then. And I'm now a little surprised that Lierrey hasn't actually moved out. TaToH is on the way up. He's 2.5 minutes off, and so is Lierrey. TaToH hasn't given up on water yet. He's got 2 fires. I think with it being so cheap, oh my goodness. That was an amazing clear there, Dave. But to finish my point, I really think it makes sense to go back on water.
Is Lierrey really going across this shallows against TaToH of all people with a group of archers?
also.
Okay, he's thought better of it.
And TaToH's looking.
Yeah.
He can't find. Okay,
no, he sees him. Yeah. I think Lierrey started to go across the middle. He's like, wait a second. This is not a good idea.
Dave told me there's rocks you can hide behind.
Yeah, exactly. And Lierrey is now coming across, and of course, TaToH queues up a demo ship.
Oh, yeah.
As the archers are coming, demo raft as the archers are coming back through the southern part of the map. Lierrey is being, a little bit aggressive with the Bohemians. No surprise there, but it's usually a Civ that just sits back and soaks the pressure on this map. Not accustomed to seeing archers or crossbows or anything like that.
Yeah, the thing that's so good about Lierrey with his archer play is how good his eco is behind it.
Look at TaToH track this. He's waiting. He's waiting. He's going to try and bait this.
He's like, attack
into the
me,
demo
attack
ship.
me. I'm vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's an easy kill. Come kill me. No, Lierrey's not falling for it. Oh, wait.
Demo raft is
Come
coming.
kill me.
Lierrey doesn't bite yet. He's going to find the walls. He might go around the other side.
He might try. That's an invitation to keep going that way because it's house walls. Oh yeah. Here we go. Everyone quiet. Wait.
Oh, he saw it. The gig is up. The gig is up. But that does. TaToH won't be that mad with that because now that Lierrey saw that, there's no way that he's going that way.
Yeah.
He's effectively walled along the shoreline. So Lierrey can't really pressure from that side. If he does, he'll probably get boomed by that demo raft. And TaToH goes for additional 2 TCs. Lierrey just 1 for now.
This may be the only time I'll ever say this, but it was a mistake for Lierrey to get crossbowman and bodkin.
Yep.
And I only say that because I feel like you just prioritize eco upgrades.
He's getting no value from it.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand that that's his MO and that's what he does really well. But I would have preferred to see him just keep those things in the corner and drop the 3rd town center or maybe another dock or something.
TaToH's getting work alley research.
Yeah.
So his fire ships upgrade and Lierrey added in extra fish. TaToH saw that. He's going to take down the fishing ships. He can also, if he has enough fire ships, can engage under that tower. He's adding 2 more right now.
Yeah.
He's still got the demo, just waiting for those crossbows to appear. And the light cav still getting vision for him as Lierrey kind of goes out a little bit too far maybe for that TC.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to lose these crossbows to the light cav. It's a perfect find from TaToH. And TaToH can see the Vills as well. And then the other army might come over here, Dave. This is really awkward for Lierrey.
Okay, Demo's still hiding in the shadows.
Oh my God.
He's waiting, he's trying to get, TaToH wants it so badly, but he's not gonna get it.
Oh man. Now, the tower will not have murder holes, so I think if you're going to send your fires out if you're TaToH, another amazing pickoff. Just stay underneath it.
Yeah, the light cap got so much value.
They did, and again, it's so sad that Lierrey had to delay town centers.
Yep.
And he got all the upgrades on the crossbows, still didn't do anything for him.
Matt Boo is just a demo enjoyer, I can tell. He's just following that. He's tracking its travels here.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if you were to miss an epic demo in the finals, they might be looking for other observers. So it's like job security right now for Mapu. But TaToH has a 10 villager lead as he takes out a house foundation there. And now
TaToH's adding fish. I like that.
Yeah. Just a few. You don't want to rely on it, but just a few.
I don't think Lierrey ever tries to contest water until maybe later on in the game if he needs map control. And even then, he can gain it with like Hufnitsa. He doesn't need the water. So adding fish there is a pretty safe bet. Also had plenty of wood to do so. And Lierrey, well, is he coming forward with the crossbows again? No, just spearmen.
Yeah, I mean, great job from TaToH to place those houses there.
Yep.
He's done so many things right here. As the light cav go in, and the monk goes down just like that.
Yep, light cav, only 2 hits to kill the monk, and they got it on the first try. That monk is going to try and convert it, but the light cav has resistance, so he's going to scout Lierrey's base. I think this is worth it for TaToH. He's going to get a ton of information from this. Only 2 TCs there, 1 TC forward.
Yeah, and just do what you can to pull any units back to deal with that light cav at the moment if you're TaToH. I mean, anyone else would have lost this thing by now?
Maybe.
Yeah, no way.
Oh,
no
dude, no.
way.
What value there?
No way.
What value there for TaToH?
He had no business paying attention to that. His eco is flying, but Dave, 550 stone for Lierrey.
Yep.
He's got the smallest army you've ever seen from the guy. Is he going to go forward with the castle, maybe?
Oh, no. I think you just have to play into late game here. I mean, against the Italians, you might be worried about their fast simp. You might be worried about condos.
Yeah, maybe.
Because condottiero are pretty good against gunpowder units, which you usually make in the late game. But I think you can be pretty comfortable playing late and just securing the golds.
TaToH is getting fletching, and he's making some ranged water units right now, and I'm a little concerned about that. Monks can deal with that. It is pretty costly. I don't think you range enough on the water. But then again, it's a very TaToH thing. I'm a little concerned for TaToH because there were a few moments in the semifinal, which he ended up winning, and then in the previous 2 games where I think he's thought a little too hard about certain things. Like, just keep it simple. You've got good eco. I'm not sure you need to do that much more. And, oh, man, that monk is somehow staying alive, and the villagers
don't get seen.
They're
The
just
villagers
passing.
do not get seen. TaToH, though, coming back a little bit. He's going to catch the tail end of that.
He's looking for the relic, right? He was looking for the relic because he knew it was there, and now he sees the monk. And now he sees the monk, and that monk is going to die.
Castle up north.
I'd love to see a demo. Just go sit next to that relic right now.
Yeah, could be valuable. I mean, it's worth trading a demo for a monk, in my opinion. Speaking of demos.
Speaking of demos,
Mapu checks behind the rock. Good, he's learning.
oh man. Well, that monk is heading over here. Will convert a villager, which was simply going to make an outpost. But TaToH and Lierrey both very close to clicking up into the next stage. And Lierrey is just like, I'm not ready to die yet.
What a quick wall there. What a quick wall there from Lierrey to save that villager. He's going to get the outpost up. I mean, it'll give him a little bit of exploration, but he manages to save the forward villager, continue to be an annoyance against TaToH.
Let's see exactly where TaToH wants to focus. This is actually really tricky because does TaToH know about the TC from Lierrey? Yeah. It's very much out of the way. He doesn't. Okay, so there's going to be castles in the north and south. So normally this doesn't happen.
Yep.
And you just have one push that goes towards one side, and then you can shift over to the other gold. I mean, TaToH's going to be running very low on gold because of this.
He's going to go condottiere.
Don't demo that. Okay. All right, well.
It had a good run.
Yeah, that's helpful, I guess.
It had a good run. I'm sad for the demo, but we might be able to see more. TaToH, he has teched into infantry armor. He's getting the second infantry armor now. He's getting squires. We all know what's coming here. Only the Italians can make this unit in a 1v1. It is the condottiere, and it is really good against gunpowder units, which the Bohemians kind of specialize in. It is not good, though, against crossbows.
Yeah.
Even though they can't get upgraded to Arbalest just yet, they still do pretty well. Yeah, they still do pretty well.
TaToH's eco is set up to make condos, and I think the beauty here is that they also can be created instantly. You don't need to wait too long. My concern for TaToH is still the gold. He did notice the castle in the south, so that won't be a surprise to him. However, there's limited gold on this map. He's got 2 relics. Can he actually push? Can he deny the gold from Lierrey, who's just waiting for chemistry to come in right now? What a fun game this is. Game number 5. And, well, I mean, Lierrey, so far so good, I guess, right? He's got both corners, or I don't know what you would call this, like the gold regions secured.
The patches.
The patches.
The mining colonies?
The yellow dots.
The quarries.
Yellow dots was my best guess. So that's all I had.
The yellow dots.
Yep, that's all I had.
+1 for your creativity here. The biggest content creator in Age of Empires 2 here, folks.
Just wait.
Anyway, double light cav going in for a monk snipe again, and the knight gets deleted because, of course, it did.
And then the light cav kill the monk.
Exactly.
And say, why did you make my friend do that?
Exactly.
Why did you make him do him to himself? And the light cav are actually going to be super annoying as the pressure comes in the crucial yellow dot region, Dave, in the north.
Yeah, big yellow dot guy here myself. 4 barracks there, 5 barracks now from TaToH as chemistry comes in as well, and he's just going to open with Condo, and this is a very good unit to get momentum with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great long-term. Maybe against Bohemians it's okay, but usually it's not great long-term. However, you don't need to tech into upgrades for it, so you can just do it right away. And Pavise is on the way, which we learned earlier.
Does apply to the
condottiere, yes.
Yeah. That's the last time I'll ever second-guess MBL. I remember that day very clearly. But, man, Dave, the beauty of the condos is you can switch to both sides, right? It's a fast unit, whereas the Arbalest, they're slow, they're low HP, and they have to be in one location all the time. So now Lierrey's like, I gotta protect the one side, and now he loops into the other, and he gets completely blindsided by the castle location.
Yeah, double bomber cannon on the way from TaToH too, and TaToH's just going to be on both sides here, just applying a little bit of pressure. Lierrey's going to have to make some big decisions.
Oh, that's so smart. That's so smart,
so
right
nice.
Through the middle. That's the last thing Lierrey expected here. I don't have the exact math on it, Dave, but in a competitive best-of-7, if it goes 2-2, whoever wins the 5th game tends to be the champion.
Yeah,
it's a massive advantage.
It's such an important swing, right? Because one guy only needs 1, the other guy still needs a couple games. It's a massive hurdle, 2 games in a best-of-7 as he takes out yet another monk here, TaToH, and Lierrey is going for a defensive castle. That castle will go up, but at what cost?
This is the best play TaToH could do, and it's only with 5 or 6 units.
Yep.
the brilliance of this guy. And now look to the other areas. In the south, I see a castle blinking.
And cannon
There's
galleon.
a cannon galleon
There's
on
a
it.
cannon galleon there. He's adding another cannon galleon. He's pushing this castle back. However, don't be too convinced that TaToH is just going to outright win this game just yet, because the Bohemians are very, very dangerous, even against the condos that get a bonus against gunpowder units. I mean, if you get enough arbalists, if you get enough hand cannons on the field, you can still shred them, especially in the choke points.
Yeah, and there's a lot of choke points because of the gold, right? I think for TaToH, he's currently pacing the game correctly.
Yep.
He just has to hit at the right times. Was Lierrey expecting this? It seems like Lierrey was, but if he loses the bombard cannons, he might end up losing more than just that town center there.
Yeah, bomber cannons coming in for Lierrey. Still no Nitsa.
And then the south, Dave. This is so good from
Yeah, it's
TaToH.
sick.
This is so good.
It really is.
Just the middle to the north to the south, and this will never stop.
And Lierrey loses another army. He loses all of his arbalists at the bottom. His castle is being taken out in the south and in the north here, as TaToH is still looping around with Condottiero. He does manage to snipe 2 bombard cannons, though, Lierrey. And he's trying to get a 3rd! Lierrey from downtown!
But the condos are here!
Bombard cannon!
The condos will clear it all up, Dave. I think they can get the surrounds. And now if the south is going to be won, Lierrey will have nothing in the north, and this is back and forth, but it is all TaToH now.
And yet another castle in the south from Lierrey. He's not giving up here, folks. Although the castle in the north will go down, Lierrey will continue to gather gold in the southern area of this map, and more archer ranges on the way. But right now it seems like all the momentum is with TaToH, and he still has control of the water. However, this is not within range of the water, and I mentioned that earlier. There's a lot of room for activities down on this side. Actually, it is.
Well, the cannon,
is.
I think they can hit the TC. Maybe elite cannon galleon, but the big thing for TaToH is now he can push the middle again, right? Like all this pressure can swing over towards the middle. Lierrey has to defend that. So it's a very difficult spot for Lierrey. He has the archer ranges, but he just doesn't have the numbers. And I really don't know. Like if you can't win with arbalest hand cannons, what on earth do you do as the Bohemians?
Yeah, I mean, just look at the numbers. You mentioned it, like 16 military. 16 military only, and this is not an ideal situation.
People are groaning in the crowd. People in the crowd are reacting like they would to a siege onager shot. Really feeling bad for those arbalests.
I definitely don't think Lierrey was ready for this, and they can range it, and elite cannon galleon is on the way, so they're going to be doing more damage. However, not the best spot you want your ships to be sitting.
Yeah.
But Lierrey needs to find an answer to this. You talked about the tech tree being limited for Bohemians against Condottiero and the amount of castles that TaToH has set up. Is there any options?
I think it's a numbers game, truthfully. I don't think it's a tech switch. I think it's, can you get to a point where you've got like 30 arbs? Because with 30 arbs, the condos will start to melt a bit. And Lierrey's trying, and he tried to do some damage control there. TaToH, again, getting a great raid in. But I love what I'm about to see from TaToH. That castle looks foolish, but just wait a moment, because he should have, I'm believing in him here, otherwise I'm going to look stupid, but he should have Trebs looping in or bomber cannons at the same time.
Oh no, hand cannons going ham against the cannon galleons from TaToH, and that is kind of a throw there from TaToH. He's going to throw a lot of resources away there, but the condos are coming in. Can they get the ships before the condos arrive?
It's 25 arbalests for Lierrey. The cannon galleon play looked awesome before, but now it kind of looks bad. Tell me he has Trebs in the south here. He does. He does have some Trebs there. That's what he needed. Yep.
He's starting to take out that castle. Now it's Lierrey's turn to make a castle underneath the castle fire of his opponent as the condos continue to loop in to the eco. And you were talking about a big ball of arbalists. Well, if you have a big ball of arbalists, it's hard to split them up. The castle is here helping out in defense, but Lierrey needs all of his army in one place, and TaToH is just in many places at the same time.
I'm kind of speechless at the moment of just how good TaToH is at controlling the game. From the condos in the middle to the little tidbits on water, and he always has backup after he takes a fight in one position. Like, he always knows that Lierrey's going to try and take the position back. The arbalests are actually going to get hit by the trebuchets. The trebuchets are a perfect tool here because the arbalests clump up. Too bad he's not Britons, but still forcing the arbs back as TaToH takes more gold in the south. There's no way Lierrey can keep that TC up. There's no way. Actually, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's just got Treb down
already. Immediately upon being placed, the TC is gone, and now the condos are continuing to push back. They're in the back of the base. And
GG! Wow,
TaToH's not done yet.
What a game. What a response from TaToH. My God.
Absolute Amazing performance there. Italians versus Bohemians. He played the tech tree, he played the Civ.
Also, to the guy in the crowd holding up the TaToH sign, that was definitely upside down. So you might want to flip that over. I talked to him earlier outside the castle. Just flip that over, man.
I don't think we're serving drinks here either.
it was a good effort.
Someone
but it was
check
definitely
that guy's
upside down. Oh man, well. Listen, if you're new to the Age of Empires 2 scene, if you're watching for some other reason and you haven't left, that is why people are obsessed with this player.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good, man. Like, my favorite thing, it feels stupid, but my favorite play in that whole game was the 5 condos to the middle. Because that's the last thing Lierrey ever expected. And it was the perfect play. It started to unravel Lierrey.
And he kept coming back.
Yeah,
like,
it just made Lierrey guess constantly.
Like, not through the middle anymore. He went through the middle once. He went through the top side again a couple times, even though that castle was there. He knew that the condos were just a cheap unit. He can gain map control, gain momentum. Lierrey would be constantly putting out fires, and TaToH was the one starting them. As TaToH takes a short break here, we are playing a best of 7. I think we're a couple hours in, and the crowd is just showing their appreciation. Lierrey deciding to take a break as well, and we have Memb and Riley here in front of the stage to give us a little bit of extra content while the players take a rest.
Yes, we do. Thanks very much, boys, and great call so far. Give it up, Dave and T90. What a show they're putting on, my friends. And viewers around the world, I'm joined here on the stage by everyone's favourite Spanish streamer here from the Age of Empires community. It's Mem TV! Now, Mem, we've been watching this very closely. We've watched these two go back and forth. We saw TaToH get up 2-0. Lierrey's dragged it back, and now TaToH with that, well, I don't want to say decisive, but very important Game 5 win. He's looking good, one more, and he gets it. What do you think's going through his head at the moment?
What a series. Well, first, I have to say that I'm scared about this crowd.
Oh, yeah, let's address this. Absolute animals.
I'm scared because I thought that they were serious. They were going to be. They killed a monk because of the relic.
Yeah.
They're searching for the blood.
They're hungry for
one
blood.
monk, and they are screaming all the time.
We see a cannon galleon take out 3 of those guards.
Give one archer.
Oh, yes, give it to
one
us.
archer. They go crazy. Well, they're nice. They're nice. Well, about the games, 2-0 first, looking so sharp. TaToH, but then Lierrey coming back to. We have not seen a lot of archers from Lierrey, and in the games that have been archers, have been the last one, you saw what happened. With the Condottieri, he has the mobility. The archers Bohemians is a civilization that is good in a choke point. You know, if they have to be chasing units, you have seen, they are not the best. What is going to happen now the last 2 games? Because Lierrey has not been in this situation before. The last year was just the opposite. It was 3-2 for Lierrey. Viper was behind, tried to come back, and he did it. What is going to do now, Lierrey?
Well, I mean, we saw Scholes slow things down, right? And I think that's something that Lierrey, I'm not going to say he struggles with, but he feels more at home when things are nice and open, aggressive. We see the Atacama ban to make sure that he can't play on maps like this. So I think he has to find his strength. Once again, I think he has to find a way to make these games his own, because TaToH slowing things down on Scholes there, I think that worked in his favour. Yeah,
but that's the big question mark here. Why? Because TaToH is playing out so good in the aggressive maps.
True.
In Arabia, for example, he was basically France versus Lithuania, if I'm not wrong. It was very, very aggressive game. And TaToH was having, with the monks, a guy in good conversions. He got really good numbers, and he never let Lierrey get the aggressive position.
That's true.
He was there with the knights. He was coming, switching to pikes, and has been very aggressive during the whole tournament. So now Lierrey probably is a little bit like, I have to do something else.
And we saw that happen in game number 3, where Lierrey got on the board with the Cumans against the Bulgarians. Now, we'd seen Hera have a lot of success with the Bulgarians on Morass, churning out scouts, right? I don't think TaToH got quite enough value with the men-at-arms, and Lierrey being faster to castle was also pretty huge in that matchup. I don't know, what were your thoughts on game number 3 and how it went out?
I think in that game, the problem was that, if I recall correct, I think he did 6 men-at-arms. I don't think he achieved any damage. Even if you have the men-at-arm upgrade for free, he didn't kill anything. He also did the armor, if I'm not wrong. Also didn't kill anything. Cumans, cheaper buildings, cost half the price. He controlled the army very, very well. And without killing villages, he got up to castle faster. And from there, he got that game quite fast.
And we had a bit of a historical upset as the Byzantines faced the Turks all the way back to the siege of Constantinople. This time, however, well, don't worry about it. This time, however, the walls held and the Byzantines won. What are your thoughts on the bull? This map is wild. We're still figuring out so much about this map.
Yeah, because we see that same strategy with same civilization sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. In that one, well, Byzantines is quite a strong civilization. What happened in that one? They have the TaToH for free. You get a lot more vision. And also he achieved just 1 minute faster. He made that he do a TC in the north, take all the short fish, that's free food. He got some kills with the Janissaries because he did a castle at home, but he sent the knights and he killed everything.
That's right, like Lierrey was so good at cleaning up those Janissaries, and like, because it's such a hard unit to mass, and Lierrey was doing a really good job of making sure they didn't reach that critical mass where they were so difficult to deal with. And you know, it shows a level of versatility on Lierrey's part that he can play a longer game. I mean, Scholes didn't go his way. He did get that early map control, but the condos in game 6 obviously, in game 5, obviously just too much for him to deal with in the later stages.
I think the mobility has been a key. Who has the mobility units is having more the advantage and winning the games. Because in that one, he was having all the knights, while TaToH was having the Janissaries, was trying to make some damage, but the knights, with the pathing, with the actual pathing for Age of Empires 2, it's taking the lead and took the game. And in the last one, we saw already.
Well, I mean, we've got potentially two matches, like 2 games left here. I don't know if you can remember off the top of your head some of the civs that are left, the maps that we've got. I mean, there's so many, obviously, in a best of 7, but even without the maps and the civs, let's zoom out. What are we expecting in these last 2 games?
Well, in the last 2 games, Lierrey need to take the lead, need to be aggressive, or TaToH has only 1 game to take the series, guys.
Yeah. And if TaToH wins 1 more, that's it. And there are a lot of TaToH fans in the audience. We've heard you hooting and hollering whenever he gets up and about. Here they are. That's right. Jill boys all the way up the back there, my friends, as well. But TaToH has got to come up against a bloke who is no stranger to this sort of level of pressure. Let's hear it, pressure. Let's hear it for Lierrey. Lierrey's going to get it done as well as best he can. But that's enough from us, my friends. We're going to send it back up to the casting chamber. We've got Dave and T90 ready to take us through the final stages of our grand final here at Red Bull Wololo Legacy.
Well, players got their rest, Dave, but I can't wait. I cannot wait. 2 more potential games.
Only
it could just
potentially
be 1 more.
2. It could be 1. TaToH could take his first S-tier event, the biggest event in Age of Empires 2 history, with 1 more win.
I believe first place gets $60,000.
Hello.
And then,
hello
crowd, yes, hello crowd. And then I think second place is $30K. So Nilly taught me to do this years ago. He's like, this game is valued at $1,278 and like 60 cents. Very specific values.
I would value the pride and especially the opportunity to prove that you are the best in the world.
Way more. Yeah.
Way more.
Way more important for everybody. Of course, like the money's definitely secondary, but
that's not why they're still playing this game.
Of course, but as we have a winter background, so according to production, we have like a wintry map coming up. I don't know.
Outcrop's dusty, right? Oh, the map is Outcrop. So dusty winter.
There's no snow. There's no snow. They're talking.
Production.
They do this production. It gets real real trolly on the final
There's
day.
no
every
snow.
Year.
All we hear is
every year. I love it. But yeah. Anyways, like we're talking like for first place and second place finish. Some tournaments don't even have this much. This is huge, right? And you've got to think the pressure might have only risen as they did need to rest, right, and take a quick break. But I'm so excited for this. Outcrop tends to be a more defensive map. The more defensive maps have actually gone better for TaToH so far. But if you remember how Lierrey played against Veleza, it was like a 13, 14-minute game.
And look at what he's
when
picked.
He went Saracens, he's gone Aztecs.
He's gone Aztecs. He's gone for his strongest choice. Based on the consensus of all the players here, Aztecs the strongest choice in this tournament. We saw them banned out so often. He got to play them earlier against Veleza, absolutely dominated in that game once he withstood the early pressure. And here we go, yet another game. Game number 6 here at Red Bull Wololo Legacy. The score is 3-2 in favor of TaToH. This is technically TaToH's home map as well.
It is.
But Lierrey has picked one of the strongest civilizations in Empire Wars, and he's going to be piling on the pressure as he can only do. against the Spaniard who has picked TaToH and is more of a mid-Castle Age type of civilization.
Yeah, now the big thing to focus on here is the scout activity from TaToH.
Yep.
On most maps, you're going to confirm what army they're going for, but here you're incentivized to get the additional sheep, particularly because with TaToH you get 50% more food from, the pigs. So that's huge, and it's actually very hard to contest that if you're Aztecs because the eagle is so slow. So if TaToH is thorough about this, he could have like 1,000 food additionally underneath his TC.
And he's being very, very thorough. Look at the top. He's got units exploring. He's got units in the middle, exploring everything. He's looking for those extra sheep, trying to use his civilization bonus, and he's missed them by one tile there. Still in the dark about those. Are they sheep? Are they pigs?
They're pigs.
They're pigs. They're pigs.
Or
and he hasn't found those pigs either. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, he hasn't gone out to attack, but he does over here, and he finds an easy kill. And actually, I mean, so far, so good for TaToH. Killing a range unit from Lierrey is always going to make you feel
Also, what
good.
is that wood line in front of Lierrey's base? I feel like that kind of hurts him.
It does. Also,
It really does.
Look at the skirm hide.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not here. If I don't move,
That Ibex is going to give him away.
Pretty weird to see a skirmisher, though. Why on earth would you make a skirmisher?
Yeah, that is kind of strange. Maybe he was expecting an archer.
Archer. I think he didn't know, and he was expecting archers, correct?
Yeah. So there's a market at the back there from TaToH. Also full walls as he continues to just explore, and the Ibex apparently are going with him as they run around this.
They're like, follow me.
Yeah, there's a hole. Lierrey plugs it up, so they're going to be stuck over there. But I was saying, this is a very weird woodline generation for him.
Yeah.
This is not what Lierrey wants, because he wants to be the one applying the pressure. He wants a straight shot to TaToH's base as the Ibex run back again.
I like how Mapu has learned.
Yes.
He knows that we need to know about that.
He's a smart guy, you know.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
more pigs that have just, he saw them, but he didn't take them.
okay, all right, Mapu, settle down. But that's actually kind of a big deal, right? Lierrey is the player who tends to really want to collect those resources. I think that could have helped the fast castle time, but TaToH finding some pigs. He does have a bit of an army to deal with, though, and it's an awkward one. We've got 4 spearmen, 4 skirmishers, about to be 3 eagles. I'm not sure if it's Lierrey or if it's the medium AI.
Yeah, this is an interesting composition for sure. I mean,
That wasn't meant to be mean.
We got some ooze. I think,
Yeah,
I think it was the pause.
Should I have said hard AI?
Yeah, hard
Was it the
AI?
difficulty level?
I don't know.
It's got a lot of variety, is kind of my point, but sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do it.
Anyway,
we continue.
Castle Age is 1 minute and 40 seconds away for TaToH, and Lierrey still hasn't clicked up yet, but he should be up soon. We saw the transition into Castle Age so deadly for the Aztecs, right?
Yeah.
Lierrey defending with skirmishers against long swords earlier today, but going into those eagles and having the mobility to just kind of pick away at the economy of your enemy is so valuable, especially when they need to expand to these outer areas.
It would bring me great satisfaction to see TaToH make Step Lancers. I think it would be quite good against Eagles. It's also quite cheap as well. Like, he's got 4 on gold, right? So if
Are they clapping for the pigs that he just found?
that or the Step Lancers or something?
I think they're clapping for
I'm
the
not
pigs.
Sure. Okay, well, but think about it. I genuinely think we might see some Step Lancers. He's going 2 stables, and he doesn't have a lot on gold. It's a really effective unit in early Castle Age, and it allows you to boom as well because you don't need to have such a gold-heavy economy.
All right, Eagles in the barracks here. Infantry armor on the way. Castle Age still 1 minute and 15 seconds away as TaToH will just reach Castle Age. And TaToH's approach is going to be going for some Step Lancers. There we go. T90 calling it. Step Lancers from TaToH as he adds a second TC as well. He's still fully walled and he still needs to expand to the outer areas, but right now his economy is fairly safe.
Yeah, so this unit, because I think it's the first time we might have seen it this week, it has 1 range, but it has less pierce armor, less attack, and also less HP than a knight. So,
Oh no, the pigs!
Oh, don't steal
Grant
the
the
pigs! Oh,
Oh, that's tragic.
that is so sad.
Where are your claps now, live audience?
Oh, man. Well, you also have the hill bonus, of course, right? So if you're on the hill, you're going to do additional damage with the TaToHs, and TaToH kind of being patient with this. He doesn't want his opponent to know, because I think if his opponent knew, his opponent would probably prioritize heavier monk play or even heavier spearman play.
And the TC on the outside for Lierrey now, as he makes that really, really close to the hill. I would probably like it a little bit further away from that hill. I've seen it so many times of armies being up on top of there and a TC being underneath, and it's a really weird position. But I guess if you're the Aztecs, you're thinking if you're not in control of the game, if you're not controlling the hills, you've probably already lost.
Again, I have to ask, why Elite Skirm? What has Lierrey seen in this game that has made him want to make skirms? I think it's just like the problem he had earlier in the day, where he's assuming a lot, right? He assumed that TaToH would have gone for like 3 monasteries in the Frank-Lithuanian game. And now he's like, oh, we're going to cancel Elite Skirm. We don't need that.
Okay, second wood upgrade on the way. Eagle still being queued. Only from 2 barracks, though, so it's not an all-in sort of thing, as we see this other TC here, and a monastery being placed from Lierrey. So he's going to get some monks on the field, but it's a 3rd town center now from TaToH, and he's only using the Step Lancers to defend. He's not using them to attack.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little disappointed in that, right? Because it's going to give Lierrey some time.
Yep.
And I think these Step Lancers could actually do a lot, but if the game does go late and the map's so open, I understand Elite Eagle can be strong and whatnot, but I feel like TaToH's might actually be the better civilization with the Keshik, the Lancers, the Hussars.
In the late Imperial? Yeah.
Yeah. Even like early Imp, depending on a lot of factors here, right? But this is what we wanted to see. Those skirmishers are throwaway units to allow Lierrey the time to react to this. I think the Step Lancers could take this fight, but I haven't tested it that much recently.
I think it depends who controls the hill. Because
Yeah.
there's a monk out there from Lierrey, and TaToH will try and snipe that. I don't think Lierrey should have revealed that monk with the scouts around. Monk could not bridge the gap between the scouts and the TC. He couldn't jump that far.
Yeah, take the hill now, right?
Sneakers next
yeah,
time.
look at this. How many times do you think Leary's faced up against this? He's going to take the fight. I think the Step Lancers destroy there.
Yep. Lierrey backs up to that TC. And I wonder if TaToH comes forward or something, or he's just confident in the Step Lancer's abilities. As Lierrey adds another monk, he's already got one on the field, and TaToH just adds farms behind this. TaToH must be in a very comfortable position at the moment.
I love how he's cutting off the reinforcements here.
Yep.
So it's really awkward for Lierrey to be able to group up any armies to deal with this. So it's almost more effective than a siege workshop to simply just use the army there. And then you can use your wood, you can use your, whatever else for your economy. And what TaToH did, because you receive additional sheep on the map and also with new town centers with the TaTars, is he went crazy with the upgrades, right? He's got wheelbarrow already, and he has the wood, and he has the farm upgrade. So transitioning into farms has been amazing for him.
All right, Lierrey adding a house behind that wall. He should be fine there. Once again, the Step Lancers take a look at the front of Lierrey's base, and he's teched into pikemen. So pikemen do pretty well against the Step Lancers. In big groups, the Step Lancers can kind of hit them from one tile away and run away, but in equal numbers, pikemen will still do fine. That obviously not equal numbers there, as that guy gets killed coming right out of the barracks. And Lierrey needs to find a way to prevent these units from getting in. Eco is still in TaToH's favor, 64 villagers against 58. Eco upgrades as well in his favor.
Oh, Step Lancers are in. Step Lancers are in, and TaToH's going to get out with the other army. And these things are so good at picking off villagers, Dave, because they don't have to reposition.
Yep, 3 villagers dead.
And he's going to stay in here, too. He's going to keep moving. And look at that. Look how quick it is to raid these villagers compared to Knights as he takes another amazing engagement.
Great fight on the other side there. The pikemen are desperately trying to chase these Step Lancers around the back of his base, but there's more Step Lancers at the front, and Lierrey is just desperately trying to keep these units out of his economy. TaToH is all over him.
Yeah, I mean, TaToH has lived for this moment. He's dreamt of this moment. This is like his time to snowball this to victory, and they're going to poke the monks down, and there's going to be 1, maybe 2 conversions, but what a crazy loss there for Lierrey.
Yeah, 4 monks lost. That's 400 gold down the drain as the Step Lancers finally get trapped here. The pikemen will take care of them. But we look at the villager count after these engagements. 63 villas for Lierrey, 76 for TaToH, and he takes out another villager. He's still so pressuring.
Yep. I'm really loving the Step Lancer play. There is a world, though, since he hasn't taken any trades against the pikemen, that suddenly he's going to need something else.
Lierrey's going to snowball. Yeah,
right? Like Cav Archers. Yep. Some players will actually make Knights because Knights have more armor, and even though Knights are still kind of countered, they're better. I'd be curious to see what TaToH's decisions are here, because we should see, so there's more buildings now for TaToH, but another stable as well. So he's clearly just going to keep going in Castle Age.
Yeah, Lierrey keeps seeing this coming in. The Step Lancers taking another look at this gold over here. Lierrey, well, he only has fletching on that TC, so the Step Lancers can kind of run around that. They have the +2 armor already. And TaToH is going to start tech switching into something else because Lierrey just has too many pikemen, like you said.
Yep.
Lierrey trying to catch up in eco, trying to get military onto the field. Limited number of eagles now, only 4. So if TaToH goes into archers, he's going to have to switch back again. It's a really, really difficult position for Lierrey.
Constant responses from Lierrey, but TaToH, for lack of a better word, is always one step ahead, right? He's always making the proper decisions in the switches. And the beauty of this is he's still making step lancers while he's transitioning to the counter to the pikemen. So he's not giving up on it. And he controls the map so well. Anytime Lierrey looks away, there's step lancers in that eco.
And he's taking a step into the economy now, TaToH, from Lierrey as he raids the farmers once again, and Lierrey just doesn't have the pikemen back there. He's still only got fletching for the TCs, so he's gonna not do too much damage to the step lancers. TaToH is perfectly content with throwing those units away. He's also catching an army in the middle. Double monk goes down. What can Lierrey do against this pressure?
What can TaToH not do right now? He's got like 4 armies, 4 TCs. His eco's perfect. The upgrades are well timed. TaToH is so close, Dave. He can almost taste it.
God, he's stepped up his level here, hasn't he?
I don't have any more step jokes, but we continue. And honestly, if TaToH really wants to go for it, he could do it. That castle could end the game. He's going to have cav archers and step lancers. There's no way Lierrey can defend that area if the proper army's there, and that castle would finish the game.
And he's sending so many villagers.
Yeah.
He knows from his teammate, you have to send. Commit to the castle, and that's exactly what TaToH is going to do. He's going to commit to the castle for the win. This could be finally an S-tier championship for TaToH, a Wololo championship for TaToH. A monk converts the step lancer.
That goat is going to be the most annoying goat TaToH has ever faced in his life. Okay, hold on. There we go.
And the castle gets placed.
There we go.
The castle gets placed. There's a monk there, but it's all out of faith. Lierrey is defending over here, but the castle is going up on the other side. We saw 18 villagers coming forward for that.
He has to stop it. He's even sending the villagers, but Lierrey must know now. He's 40 villagers behind. That castle from TaToH could go up. The monk is trying to block it. There's no way, Dave. That castle has to complete.
Lierrey is trying to stall it out. Lierrey is trying to stall it out, but the villagers kill so slowly. The pikemen are here. The step lancers are here. The crossbows are up on the hill fighting. And the castle is at 89%, 90%. If this castle goes up, Lierrey has no gold on the outside. He's got no presence, and he's lost so many villagers.
We have a new champion. We have a new champion here. There's no doubt in my mind. Lierrey doesn't want to call it, but TaToH has won this thing. He has done it.
GG,
and there it is.
Vamos, TaToH, your Red Bull Wololo Legacy champion and S-tier tournament victor for the very first time. The biggest tournament in Age of Empires 2 history.
What a beastly performance from this guy. Who did he not have to face? What did he not do strategically? I mean, from the archers, the monks, the step lancers to finish it off, this guy had everything. The most complete player of this tournament, there's no doubt. He did not have an easy road at all, and there is no one that deserves it more than this guy. He has been the most creative player in our game for years. I'm so happy for him.
Oh my goodness, look at the raw emotion there, and we're gonna send it over to Riley and TaToH here, folks, your champion.
Wow.
My goodness gracious me, what a show we have just received. Please join me in being the first to congratulate the Age of Empires 2 Red Bull Wololo Legacy champion, TaToH! Mate, what a series.
Yeah.
So much I want to ask you about, my friend. Let's start at the beginning. You came to this tournament with a team, a family of guys who got together for this boot camp to prepare, to dig in and do your best. You were the only one who made it through to the semi-finals. How was it with the support of your team approaching today, this day, with you flying the GL flag?
Well, my team is always there for me. Like everything I asked, they were there, like going for help me as well. And obviously, like I think without them, I couldn't make it here.
Mate, how are you feeling heading into this game, heading into this series, I should say? Going first game's a win for you. Second game, you're 2-0 up against Lierrey, a bloke who has been in more finals than anyone else. He's won more of these than anyone else. How are you feeling when you were just 2 games away from victory?
Yeah, I was like, oof, this is a good start. But I had seen a start against him in other tournaments, and then I got reverse sweep, so I wasn't confident at all. Like Lierrey is, for me, is the best Empire Wars player, so you cannot be overconfident against him.
Yeah, and I mean, he equalised at 2-2, of course, and that must have been a bit of a reality check for you there. We did take a bit of a break, right, after you won that fifth game and got up to 3-2. What were you telling yourself in that break when you were just one game away from victory? What was the lesson you were trying to remember?
Well, I was like thinking what to pick, to be fair. Like he got Aztecs and Incas, and it was going to be mind games, I believe, because I actually expected him to pick Aztecs on Acclivity, but then he might actually read my mind and play against TaToH. And then I remember in the bootcamp, like that was, we need to use stable lancers more often. And I say, I think it's a good moment for us.
Well, we saw then the raids, the aggression, getting up in Israel with that castle, a thrilling conclusion. I want you to tell us, when was the moment that you knew you had won the championship?
I think when I got in, I think I was ahead already, but Aztecs is super strong, so you cannot be like confident. So when I get in and I was like, I saw that he switched to pikes, I was okay, I have the mobility, and I can use that on my favor. So I was always trying to move his army around the map, so I will know when is the right moment to castle drop and then get the game.
I want to ask you one more thing, or really not, it's not so much a question. I want to offer you now an opportunity. I know there are so many people who have supported you, so many people that, you know, can claim some portion of the victory you've just achieved. TaToH, who do you want to thank? Who have you got a message for at this, the biggest achievement of your Age of Empires career?
Obviously, I would want to thank GL staff for allowing us to go for the bootcamp. My GL teammates, for sure, like they are a big part of that reason that I'm here. Also Winchester, that he couldn't make it here and he has helped me a lot, so thank you, Vince. And all the fans, like I had my mobile is an old one, and it was blocked when I won the semifinals because it was so much message. So everyone, thank you so much for the support, and hopefully we see each other next time as well.
Well, my friends, there's just one more thing I have to do with you now. And that is confer upon you the trophy that is so rightfully yours, so hard fought and so richly deserved, and the $60,000 that come with it. My friends around the world, join me in congratulating the Age of Empires 2 Red Bull Wololo Legacy champion. It is TaToH! The rest of the GL guys are over there, mate. Well, my friends, as we welcome Ellie 4K on the stage to close out